Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, I am not prepared today. I am not prepared today. I'm like rushing in here. Goodness, I'm a mess over here today. I am a mess over here today. Goodness. I'm all over the damn place. How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? What's going on today? I know I have pants on today. It's strange. It's strange. I'm not used to it. It's a weird feeling. God damn it. I knew I forgot to fix something. Yeah, I went a little different with the haircut today. What do y'all think? I went a little different with the haircut today. I went a little shorter. I went a little bit shorter today. Got to give all the angles. Got to let everybody see all the sides. Yeah, I went a little shorter today. Oh. No, I don't like, so they'll do like a full, like, strict hairline. I don't like it. I don't like when they do that. I don't think it looks good. I like it a little. Because then I can, like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. No, I like it a little looser. You know what I'm saying? Like he offers to straight line, to, like, razor me up in the front. I tell him not to. I don't like it. Yeah, you can see a lot of skull, but that's just because I got a bunch of stuff in there. I got a bunch of product. You know what I'm saying? I got a perm in. The Jerry curl. That's what I was looking for. I said perm, but I meant Jerry curl. Someone said it in there. I went with the Jerry curl. All these trends. Like all these trends, they all just come back around. You know what I'm saying? Like the Jinko jeans are coming back. The Janko jeans are coming back, like the Chucks are always coming back. Everything comes back, Ted had said I look like a sailor about to get off the ship, just trying to keep his hair in rags. I actually saw a post on I don't know, one of my social medias, and it said when a Navy guy leaves the Navy and goes into the Air Force, and it was that one video of that black dude in the church who's like, I'm not gay no more. I like women. I like women. You know what I'm talking about? Dude, I watched that video like 5 times. I was laughing so hard, bro. I'm not gay no more. I like women. 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 I need to start playing that when these guys start coming up talking to me about like how cute I am or like whatever. I need to play that video for them. It's funny because I'm not getting any comments in the chat, which makes me think that none of you guys have seen the video that I'm talking about. Like normally when I mention like a viral video and stuff like that, like you guys are all up in the chat telling me like, none of you guys have seen that? Oh my God. Guys, if you guys are calling in, just give it like a couple minutes. We'll be right into it. Y'all, can we get this thing up to 5,000 likes there? I appreciate it. It's not from a movie. It was a viral like TikTok like type clip. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Let's see if I can find it. There it is.
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men no more. I said I like women. Women. I said women. I'm not gay. I would not date a man. I would not carry a purse. I would not put on makeup. I will love a woman.
Love a women.
Now listen, what? Yo, hey! Woo! We don't just preach condemnation. We preach reconciliation. Tell him. I'm not gay no.
Bro, if you're gonna convince me you're not gay no more, you're gonna have to get rid of that tie, bro. Just saying. If you're gonna convince me you're not gay no more,
I am delivered.
You're gonna have to get rid.
I don't like men no more.
You're gonna have to get a new tie, bro. You ain't convincing me with that, dude. I'm telling you right now. You ain't convincing me with that tie. You ain't convincing nobody with that tie, bro. You ain't convincing nobody with that tie, bro. Not a damn person are you convincing with that tie. I promise you. All right. Yeah, that's in a church. He's proselytizing, bro. He's out there. He's preaching. He's letting everyone know the power of Jesus Christ and how it can turn you not gay. All right? He's trying to let everyone know how Jesus Christ can make him not gay. And he's letting everybody, for all the gay men in the congregation, just let you know, if you're gay, you're out there, you're like me, maybe we hooked up on Grindr. Jesus can make you not gay no more. All right? No mo. I'll be with the women. With the women. And that marriage lasted 14 seconds after he got married. Yeah, he got married, and 14 seconds later, he got divorced. And that's how that went. I like women. Sorry. I could literally watch that for so long. It's almost embarrassing. It's almost embarrassing. All right. I just had to send Matt something that Matt sent me so that I could have it. I need to download it. The only way I did. Let's see. Hold on. We're gonna save that for later. Yo, as you guys are coming in, please double tap that screen. Let's get up to 5,000 likes. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. We are about to open up the phone lines, start taking calls, start taking some guests over here. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're about to get this thing moving. All right. I didn't even put up my live gift goal today. I haven't even done that far. I haven't done anything today. I haven't even started going. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ready at all. You know what? We pretty much ended with these yesterday, so we're gonna go back to them because I like them because they're cute. Not as cute as the sloths. We're gonna go to the sloths next. We're gonna do this, then we're gonna do the sloths. We're gonna go with all that. We're gonna get the cute gifts today. Since it's Thursday. Yeah, you did help me. For you guys who stuck around and helped gift me last night, I really appreciate that. We did get into B5 finally. So we're barely there. We're hanging on by a thread, but we did get in. Okay? And that's super exciting. Manic said, you know, the clergy is hoping he didn't tell it all. Bro, they were all sweating back there, bro. They were all sweating back there. I promise you that. I promise you that. And Capo, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. Again, Capo, thank you so much for the 10 gifted there. I really appreciate that. I didn't even see all who got that. I don't even know if there was 10 we might even not even have 10 non-members in the landscape live. That's how crazy it is. Richard, Lacrosse, Monaco, Robin, Novel, your pal, the humble Hufflepuff, Conda, David, Mac and Bees, David. Yeah, we had a bunch of people over there. Big W's in the chat for Capo, for those for the 10 gifted. Hell yeah, hell yeah. And thank you so much for that hoodie. Thank you so much for the Needing Kitten too. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, well, we're gonna see what we got over here. Start answering some phone calls, getting this thing going. People have been calling in the whole time. You guys got to give me like a few minutes so I can get loaded up. Hello, how are you?
Yes, I just have a question. I wanted to see what your opinion was on it. I'm calling from West Virginia, and I saw, I don't know if you saw today where Vance was saying that they were unaware or were not really all that familiar with the 10 objectives that Iran had put out for this ceasefire or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
Do I believe that?
It's insane.
Do I believe that JD Vance doesn't know what he's talking about? Yeah, generally.
Do I believe that? But I mean, do you believe that they are that stupid that they don't understand, that they don't know what the parameters were for this ceasefire? Or do you think that they were doing that? They were actually trying to get that thing, the Strait of Hormuz, open, and then that they were going to turn around and go back to doing what they were doing and cite ambiguity? Yeah.
So I think that it's probably similar to the ceasefire. They're trying to pull off like what they did with Israel and Palestine. When it came to that ceasefire, Israel and Palestine, or is that the right one? Shit. Israel and Hamas. Yeah, it was the Israel and Hamas one, where literally like nobody agreed and they just kept saying it was a ceasefire and threatened someone to tell them they were wrong. They probably knew what it said. They just ignored it. They just didn't care. That's what they did before. They know that they're like bigger. So what they do is they just go, it's a ceasefire. And they go, well, we want these terms and we want these terms. And they go, sure, everybody gets everything. It's a ceasefire now, without caring what they're actually agreeing to. And then they hope that everybody just figures it out on the back end. That's my guess. I don't know for sure. I mean, I can't read the guy's mind. I don't know whether he actually knew or not. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
I'm sorry?
So as far to me now, I think that, where Obama had this treaty with them to cease the making of or the enriching of the uranium and stuff like that, Trump comes in and he deads that, and he does some kind of deal himself, and then he deads that. I think that America, with Donald Trump, with all of what he has done, he has shown that he does not, he can't be trusted to honor agreements and things between us and other nations and treaties and so forth. And so we've lost credibility, and I don't believe them. I think that they knew. I just think that they were up to something more nefarious.
Yeah, I look, the sad part is it doesn't really matter, to be completely honest with you. And this is, and why I'll say this is, either they didn't know or they knew and they're up to something worse. Both of those are bad.
Mm-hmm.
There's no good part there, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like there's no like, either they're bad or they're bad. There's no like, there's no part there where they're good. So I don't really know if it really fucking matters, right? Either they're incompetent or evil or both. You know what I'm saying? Like that, that's how I feel about it. I wouldn't waste too much brain power on it or too much thought about it, because it's bad for the United States and the citizens and the people of Iran, regardless of which way. But hey, man, I'm gonna let you go so I can move on to a Trump supporter. But I appreciate you, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, how are you? Hello. All right, goodbye. All right, hello.
His name is John.
Hello.
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 Hello. How you doing?
I'm good. How old are you? Yeah, no, I'm good. Anyways, y'all, if you guys still support Trump, you can call on the number above my head or join the guest request box. I really appreciate that. We can keep going. Yeah, some people are very strange right now. People are very strange. On the problem, what did you think of Melania's confession today? I thought one thing and one thing only. She must be getting paid a lot of money to still be with him. She must be paying a lot of money. Like, I can't wait to, in like 20 years, 30 years, when we find, or like 10 years, when we finally get that final number of how much she was getting paid, it's going to be, they're going to have an entire Netflix documentary on it. Thank you so much, Ethan. I appreciate that. That's that's personally what I think. Like, I watch that shit, it's like, oh, this is just a waste of fucking whatever. Like, I think the funny part to me is like, why are you parading Melania out there as if she's been like well known as this great public speaker? You know? Why are you parading her out there as if she's been some like great public speaker who, who's just so good at pushing the message, Like, she's literally never been that. And they keep pushing her out like she is. I don't know. It's kind of funny to me. Those are so cute. Thank you so much. Oh my God, Tor. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tor. Oh my goodness. That was the chat for Tor. And for Heathen for that $10 super chat. Yeah, she pretty much just like kind of talked like, people asked like what the confession is. She pretty much just talked like, she pretty much was just like admitting to everything and then just kind of like saying, like pretty much playing it off. Just pretty much being like, oh, like we were in the emails, but like, but it wasn't really like that, or just I don't know. I don't know. It really wasn't much. You know what I'm saying? It was really just, I don't know, a fucking waste. I don't know. It was just like, I listened to it for a little bit. I was like, this is, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, very, very, very strange. Very, very strange. But check live only chat. Mod space live only chat. Oh. Source of, no, live only chat. I have too many live chats. Oh, yeah. Shush. If he does that, then get rid of him. Yeah. That's the one thing that's off limits. That's the one thing that's off limits. But thank you, Shush. I appreciate that. Yeah. Sorry. Talking to my mods. Talking to one of my mods. I apologize. Talking to one of my mods about a situation. We have a situation. Okay? We have a situation. We got things we're taking care of over here. All right? We got things we're taking care of over here. You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. You know? It's some mob shit, dude. You guys should be by the way, Shush, that was in the totally wrong chat. You totally should have put that in the mod chat. But regardless, thank you. That's totally in the wrong chat, but that's okay. Yeah. But regardless, yeah, it's like the mod, like, do you guys see the chat with my mods? It's like mob hits in there, bro. They're like, dude, should we take this guy out? Like, Jimmy over there is being a little shady. Want me to take care of him, boss? That's what it's like in my mod chat. I'm not even joking. Hello, how are you? Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
A little feedback here. I'm ready to debate.
Hi, how are you?
Good, I'm good.
Awesome. So, how old are you?
Oh, sorry.
All right, yeah, I'm not listening to that anymore. He's in the Strait of Vermouth. He's in the Strait of Vermouth. A couple of our calls have been in the Strait of Vermouth. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I've been so busy trying to freaking like build content and do all this stuff, and I want to go grab that video so that I can freaking put it up. And like I need to make a video about it. I need to make a video about it so bad. But I just haven't had the time, man. I just haven't had the time. I need to send it off to somebody. I do have, well, actually, if I can get it back to my people, I should have my video from No Kings coming out no later than the end of the weekend. So I've already previewed it. Just got a few corrections I got to make on it, and then that'll be out this weekend. So that'll be really, really cool. That'll be really, really cool. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I had to make one correction on my haircut, and you guys love, well, two. I went back to a little bit shorter than I was before, and then I had like one little correction. You guys are loving it. I keep hearing nice haircut, so I guess I know what I need to stick with. All right. Now I got my mods trying to take each other out in the chat. Now they're trying to, y'all better watch out. I'll go find, that's why my mods are fighting, because Corey's not here. That's what's going on. My hair was getting wild, dude. I went to go do my hair. Last night. Like, that's when I booked my haircut. I went to go do my hair for the live last night. And I was like, oh my God, I need to freaking fix this. I was like, oh my God, I need to fix this. This is so bad. You've seen me do karaoke in videos posted by other creators. I did do karaoke. And then I helped RJ sing too. I think at one point we were at the karaoke bar. And if I remember correctly, because I was pretty intoxicated, but if I remember correctly, Matt was doing Biggie. And as soon as like the part came up where like where he says like the N-word, like Matt just like handed me the mic because he's like, I'm not saying it. He was like, not me. Oh man. It was funny. I was very amused by him doing that. Yeah. He was just like, you. And I was like, okay. Oh my goodness. Too funny. Too funny. He's like, I ain't getting caught up today, bro. I ain't getting caught up today. Hello, how are you?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hi, how old are you?
48.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah.
Awesome. Why is that?
Mostly the social issues, man. Yeah, I didn't like the Democrats the way he was going with their thing. And, yeah, Trump was going directly opposite of that, so I'm for him.
Awesome. What were the Democrats going for exactly?
Men and women's sports, DEI.
Awesome. Can you please show me the Democratic policy for men and women's sports?
Right. The thing that you see all of those people up there crying about trans rights and stuff. That's men and women's sports.
Well, that's not a Democratic policy, sir. That's just people crying about, sir. Sir, that's not a Democratic policy. That's just some people you can find crying about stuff, right?
Right. They align with that.
So no one said anything about it being in line with it. You said the Democratic policies that were that were pushing forward. I'm asking for which policy. In order for it to be a Democratic policy, sir, in order for it to be a Democratic policy or a Democratic agenda item, you have to show me where those things exist. If not, right, you're just making connections in your head and then blaming Democrats for them. And that doesn't do anything.
You don't see no Republicans support none of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, they do. There's actually trans Republicans. Did you know that?
No, they don't subscribe to that ideology.
Nope. I have literally met trans Republicans. I've met them.
You didn't hear what I said. I said they're not pushing the ideology of men and women's sports. And,
cool. If they're pushing the ideology, how are they doing that? How is the Democratic Party doing that?
What do you mean? Ain't you a Democrat?
Well, first of all, no, I'm not. But second of all, I watch the Democrats do stuff all the time, and I've never seen them push that.
That's 90%. Well, shoot, that's a big percentage of they roots.
So like I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. Okay. In the last election, Donald Trump, his number one campaign spending thing, $215 million, he spent on just ads. Okay. Quoting something that Kamala Harris said 10 years prior and out of context. Okay. There was not one part of her agenda item that was pushing, for transgender people or anything like that. Not a single part of it. She wasn't talking about it at all. Donald Trump found one thing from 10 years prior and spent $215 million to tell you that that's what her platform was about. So do you think that it was her? Hold on,
that
sir.
Was a good move.
So do you think it was a good move, right? It was a good move because it manipulated people like you into thinking that was a Democratic policy. All right. No, you are 100% manipulated, right? And so I'm just saying, like, that's what it did. It manipulated people like you to believe that, oh, the Democrats are pushing this, the Democrats are pushing that, the Democrats are pushing this.
Yeah,
when in actuality,
I've
it's
seen them
just
all do it.
Donald Trump. When in actuality, it's just Donald Trump telling you that the Democrats are pushing all of that, right? All the Democrats have pushed for, from what I have heard, is that that trans people and gay people deserve equal rights.
Let me ask a question then.
Well, how could you ask
If
a question,
that's
sir?
what
You were
said.
trying to ask it before I even got done finishing my sentence.
I already heard what you said.
How could you hear what I said if you started talking before I was finished?
Because what you're saying.
All
is
right, awesome. What did I say was the Democratic platform then?
I'm just saying you don't.
No.
see
What did I say was the
Republicans
Democratic?
or
No. What did I
MAGA
say?
people running on
What did I say?
no
If you
transgender,
heard the end of my sentence, then what did I say the Democratic platform was?
I said the Democratic platform does have something to do with the LGBTQ.
No. I told you exactly what it was in a sentence less than 30 seconds ago.
That don't mean nothing to me, dude. That's what
How
I'm
could it
saying.
not mean
That's
anything to
what
you
I'm
if you didn't
saying
hear it,
is
sir?
people
I don't,
get
sir.
down
I don't,
with that. Regular straight people don't get down with that.
I don't have conversations and debates with people that can't have that can't comprehend a sentence. Okay, I was almost done with my sentence. You can either listen to what I have to say and then respond to what I have to say, or you can fuck off. To be completely honest with you, it doesn't really bother me. Okay, but what we're not going to do is have you talk over my statement and then ignore my entire statement because you didn't hear it, and then go off on whatever talking point script that you have on the side. Okay.
All you doing is talking points.
Great comeback, sir. Did you hear what I fucking said?
What you saying? It don't matter what I heard you say.
Okay, sir. Well, if you don't want to have if you don't want to actually have an honest conversation, then I'll just let you go.
I'm
okay?
having an honest conversation.
No, you're not, sir.
It go both ways.
No, you're not.
All
Sir.
right. So what are you saying?
I'm saying goodbye because if you can't have a conversation, then I'm not talking to you.
I'm asking you what are you saying?
I'm not asking you to ask me a fucking thing. I'm asking you to listen. I'm not saying, hey, bud, I need to know what your questions are. I'm saying I'm speaking. I need you to listen so that you can respond to what I say.
Okay,
if you're not
ahead.
responding to what I'm saying, then we're not having a conversation. You're just preaching.
I'm listening now.
All right, perfect. The Democratic platform, okay, is that everyone, including transgender people, including people of the LGBTQ plus community, deserve equal rights. That your gender ideology or your sexual preference doesn't change, okay, who you are as a person, that you deserve rights just like everybody else. Why is that such a problem?
What rights are they getting taken away?
Or rights that are getting taken away? The ability to be safe within their bathrooms, the ability to freaking use locker rooms, the ability to go to school, the ability for children to be able to. Hold on, sir. I'm not finished. No, not whoa, shit. Not whoa. See, I told you couldn't have a conversation. Not whoa, shit. If I'm talking, then you're quiet. If you ask me a question and I'm trying to answer it, then you are quiet until I'm done answering your question.
All right, go ahead, man.
Thank you. How about military service, right? How about marriage equality, right? How about the ability to adopt, right? Those are all things that are within equality, right? Medical care, right? The ability for parents to make decisions with their children. All of those things, okay, are things that you and I have the ability to do and that trans people don't.
But trans people, what do you mean trans people can't go into their own bathroom? They do go. If he's a man, he should go into a man's bathroom. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, do you know how many assaults that's caused?
Who cares? They supposed to. That's their problem.
So you're forcing them to do something, and then they're getting
I'm not
assaulted.
Forcing them to do anything.
You
That's
are
the law.
Right. You're saying that somebody that has to go into the bathroom of the gender they were assigned at birth, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So when a big, large bearded, when a big, large bearded man covered in tattoos, about 230, full muscle, right? Deep ass voice walks into a woman's bathroom, you have a problem with that, right?
Any person.
Sir, I asked you, yes or no, do you have a problem with that?
Any male.
It's a yes or no question, sir.
Yes.
If a big old dude with a giant beard and a deep voice and muscles and tattoos walks into a woman's bathroom, do you have a problem with that? Yes or no?
If he's a male, yes.
Oh, so who's going to check? I just said he had a giant beard. Are you going to check to see if he has a dick?
No.
Who is then?
What do you mean who is? Like you can't tell. Everybody can tell.
So apparently you can't, because I just said he had a giant beard. He had a giant beard, a bald head, muscular man. Okay, just like a man does, walks into a women's bathroom. Do you have a problem with that?
Yes.
Yes. Well, so unfortunately, that was a trans man. Okay, so he was actually given female assigned female at birth, and now according to the way that according to what you just said, okay, now they have to use the bathroom of the gender they were assigned at birth, and now that person is gonna get assaulted by someone like you who made that rule to begin with, all right, because that trans man, okay, was assigned was assigned female at birth, and following your own rules now has to use the women's bathroom, but looks exactly like a fucking man. All right? And until somebody goes and checks their fucking genitals, okay, which I know you guys love dick watching, all right? I know you guys just love dick watching, but unless someone's gonna go check that person, okay, then that's gonna then that person is gonna be subjected to assault and all sorts of other horrific things. Okay, so how about you guys just stop being the genital police? I really do think that the reason why you guys are so concerned with everybody else's genitals is because you can't control your own, right? It's because you get none, right? And so you can't control your own.
No, bro. It's just objective reality, bro. Democrats don't believe in objective reality, and yeah, that's just crazy.
Wow, so that was a nothing comeback. You just responded with an absolute word salad of fucking nothing. You did not, sir. Do you have the intellect to respond to any of the argument that I made?
If that's, I just told you what it was. You can accept it or not, bro. I'm just telling you that's why people don't rock with Democrats.
I don't give a fuck why people rock with Democrats. I already said I'm not a fucking Democrat, sir. I'm asking you why you still support Trump. I don't give a fuck about Democrats, bro. Couldn't give a shit.
That's why Trump was better.
Trump was better. So gotcha. So the 34 times felon, all right, who has had 27 sexual assault allegations, who's been adjudicated of sexual assault, who defrauded a children's cancer charity, was somehow better because you think that Kamala Harris, okay, because you think Kamala Harris, because you want to dick watch so fucking bad. All right, that somehow that was better than you. At least you just, wow, he even admitted he likes dick watching. Absolutely. That's weird. That's weird. At least this one admits he likes dick watching. That's better than the rest of them, bro. Now I know why Grindr keeps getting crashed. Literally every single time there's an RNC convention. Every single time there's an RNC convention, Grindr crashes, goes down, right? You guys are just all up there, just freaking all over each other, bro. For the people that freaking claim to be so anti-LGBTQ plus, it is crazy how much you guys talk about male genitalia. In all the years I have been doing this, not one Republican has, or one person on the right has ever come up to me complaining about trans people who are assigned female at birth. Not a singular one. Because y'all don't give a shit about any genitals that women have. You only care about the men ones. That's all you care about. You guys are so far in the fucking closet that the only thing that goes through your fucking mind is fucking dick. It is fucking wild, bro. Y'all need to fucking go see a therapist and get out of the fucking closet, bro. Because this is it's super, super weird that every single one of you guys just males, men, penis. That's all you guys talk about. Never, not one time has anybody ever been not one time has anyone ever been like, you know what, trans, I don't want women in men's sports. Right, that argument has never been made to me. I don't want women in men's sports. Right, people that are assigned female at birth that become trans men. Not a single one of y'all have ever been concerned about that whatsoever. Because why would you guys ever be concerned about women, about what they vaginas, right? Why would any of you guys ever be concerned about any of that? All you guys talk about is wieners, bro. I get so tired of hearing you guys talk about wieners, bro. It's so strange, dude. Just go get a therapist, bro. You can talk your way through it. All right? You can talk your way through it. I swear to God. This is all I hear. All I hear when you guys come talking about this stuff, bro.
I'm not gay no more.
This is all I hear.
I am delivered.
That's all I hear, dude.
I don't like men no more. I said I like women.
That's all I hear every time you guys talk about that, bro. It's fucking weird, bro. You guys are weird.
I'm just saying that's the difference between a conservative and a liberal. Like,
yeah,
bro.
liberals don't got dick on the mind all the time like y'all do.
No, man.
Yeah, that is the difference. You are 100% correct.
Yeah,
the difference is that I don't walk around in my life just thinking about wieners all day long like you do. All right? That is the difference. Okay? We are literally in a fucking war right now. The economy is fucking tanking. Okay? We got Melania up on fucking stage talking about freaking Donald Trump covering up the fucking Epstein files, right? We have real world shit, horrible shit going on in the fucking world, and all I hear from you is just wieners. Bro, it's fucking weird. Like, we literally have so many important things. Like, I sit here and I study, right, all of these important things that are going on in our economy, in geopolitics, in all of these crazy things that are so important to not only now, but our future and our kids' futures and all that sort of stuff. And instead of talking to somebody intellectual, I got to talk to you about wieners, bro. It's fucking sad, bro. I got to talk to you about fucking wieners, bro. It's fucking strange, dude. Stop, bro. Get off it. Get off the dick, bro. It's okay. It's okay. No, there is no fucking debate. There is no debate. Trans people aren't fucking hurting you, okay? You've probably never even met one, okay? They're not fucking hurting you. They're not hurting fucking anybody. Leave them the fuck alone and stop thinking about their fucking wieners. This is not a fucking debate. That's it. That's the end of conversation. That's the end of conversation. You're weird, okay? Stop being so fucking weird. That's the end of the debate. Sound good?
Good.
Yes, agreed. Bye. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to the next caller and keep this thing going. If you guys would like to support the live, I do have super chats, super stickers, pay links in the bio. I'm about to start up a new live gift goal because for fun. So I thank you guys all so much for the little, whatchamacallit, the little kitten thingies. Kneading kittens, that's what they're called. Thank you guys so much for those. I really, really appreciate it. Dude, it's weird. It's just fucking weird, isn't it? It's just weird. I'm sorry, it's weird. It's strange. It's strange. It's so strange. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 10.
Oh my goodness. You shouldn't have a phone. Where are your parents? Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. My name's Travis. I'm calling out of Alabama, soon to be headed to Chicago, and I ran across your video, and it says, call in and tell me why you still support Trump. Let me be very frank. I've voted twice in my life. I'm 43 years old, voted twice in my life. Both times were for Donald Trump, 2016, 2020, admittedly, right? As I watched his behaviors after he lost the election in 2020, I decided to sit 2024 out. And I didn't think either candidate was worthy of the office. Now, here's one thing that I will tell you. There's things that I have supported about Joe Biden, Barack Obama, George Bush, Bill Clinton, right? There's a lot of policies that are on the surface, when their ink on paper look great under the Donald Trump administration. It's the execution of the policies and the manner by which they're being executed, which I think crosses constitutional boundaries, which is what I'm in opposition of, right? So you can't, sometimes you can do the right thing in the wrong way. Does that make sense?
No. Donald Trump's, none of the things that he campaigns on were even possible when he fucking said them, nor were they helpful to the United States when he fucking said them. Because Donald Trump, all he does is say stupid fucking quips that sound good, but in reality have no basis in actually helping the United States, right? Like drill baby drill. Like Donald Trump is up there yelling, drill baby drill, as we're producing more oil than in any time in American history. We're completely energy independent and producing more oil than Saudi Arabia. He's just saying that, okay, because it sounds cute, but in reality, it's not a matter of execution. Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. I let you talk plenty. Did I not?
Yeah, you did. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I can
was
finish my
sorry
statement. So what I'm saying is that what he's doing, it's not a matter of, oh, it's a great idea, but it has bad execution. It was just a bad idea to begin with because Donald Trump doesn't know how to have good ideas when it comes to the government because Donald Trump doesn't have an ability to govern, nor do I believe he actually has a will to govern. There's a reason why in his first term, there was like less legislation passed by any four-year president in the history of the United States because he doesn't know how to get anything passed because he doesn't know how to do anything good. He knows how to campaign. He knows how to tell you a bunch of shit that doesn't make any sense if you don't follow politics. That's all he knows how to do.
No, I agree. I agree. There's a lot of flair and sensationalism in his speech. And I think the only reason why he had any measurable success in the 2016 run was because he was surrounded by people in his cabinet and his administration that were solid people who had experience. Those people are now gone.
What success did he have?
And this is where it becomes an issue for me.
What success did he have? I'm like curious, like truly curious. You said he had moderate success. What success did he have? Those people that were around him just stopped him from being the worst president in history at the moment, even though he was still ranked as the worst president in history. It just stopped fascism.
His administration, not him, his administration.
But he didn't do anything good. What did he do that was good in his first term?
Most presidents don't. That's what people don't understand. Like, here's one thing that I disagree with that he's done in this term. Joe Biden passed the CHIPS Act, which is by far a huge matter of national security and concern. And it prevented foreign adversaries from obtaining AI advanced chips that could be used in their defense industry to create weapons against U.S. interests. Donald Trump repealed that and then had a huge $250 billion deal brokered in AI chips, quantum AI chips for China. I'm like, okay, this makes absolutely no sense.
Yes, sir. I'm very aware, sir. I'm very aware of that, sir. But you're the one who voted for him in 16 and 20, not me, right?
Well, here's the reason why I did vote for him. Okay, and I'd never voted before, mostly because I was overseas and just didn't have time to vote. But whenever I voted, right, I listened to his campaign speeches in 2016. And at the time, I was disappointed with both sides of the aisle. I was just disappointed with both sides of the aisle. You had the Republicans who mishandled the war on terror for 20 years. You had, the Obama administration was, what they were campaigning on was, a health care tax on everybody and just, increasing taxes all around. And then what really pushed me away from the Obama administration at the time of his campaign was the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which would have put the remaining few manufacturing jobs that we have in the U.S. out of the U.S. We wouldn't even have a manufacturing sector anymore because
that's not true.
The cost of labor would have been so low. So when I looked at that, I was like,
okay.
Well, one thing that I'll tell you I did agree with is that Barack Obama was the first president to address the shortcomings in our healthcare system.
Yeah.
He was the first one to do it.
Yeah.
So kudos to him. And the Jobs Act. The Jobs Act was amazing, right? It actually allowed small companies to do a capital raise through crowdfunding prior to launching an IPO under Regulation A, right? Instead of Reg D, traditional IPO structure.
Yeah, so that's all great, man. What point are we getting to in this conversation? Because it doesn't sound like we're getting anything at all. What's the point here?
What I'm saying is that not everything Trump does is bad inherently, like the policies on paper.
Name one thing that he did that was good.
It makes a lot of sense. Like immigration reform makes sense.
Immigration reform, Donald Trump stopped. Donald Trump has not done immigration reform, and he stopped immigration reform. Immigration reform was under the Biden administration. Immigration reform was under the Biden administration, under the Langford bill. Donald Trump called the senators, told them not to pass it, and blocked our immigration reform. And since then, he's become president and has not done immigration reform at all.
Well, so he's done a lot of deportation.
He did less deportations in 2025.
He still has deported less people he's deported less people than Barack Obama did, except Barack Obama deported 3.8 million more people than him quietly. He didn't go and beat people up in the
Donald
streets.
Trump has deported less people in 2025 than Biden did in 2024.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Donald Trump has not done immigration reform at all. That's not immigration reform.
Well, true immigration reform would be, I would say he's doing immigration enforcement for the first time. The true immigration reform would pave a pathway to citizenship for people who want to do it honestly and make it easier for people who want to do it honestly.
But again, he's not even doing the deportation thing well, because again, he's deporting less people per year than even Biden did, and he's doing it at a cost that's 3 to 4 times the cost to the fucking taxpayer. So you're saying on paper he's doing things well? No, he's not. He's just yelling.
He's not doing things well. The policy proposed on paper looks good.
His policy proposed was to have something that was to have a mass deportation the size of the Mexican Patriation Act, which he actually freaking compared it to, which saw over 1 million freaking U.S. citizens get deported.
Yeah, I know.
That was his policy that you're saying is good on paper.
There's a reason why I no longer support him. And the primary reason, when you look at who he has in his team there, Steve Miller, Steve Witkoff, Peter Thiel, those guys are evil people. Jared Kushner, inherently evil people. And I mean, it's like they're the ones making all of his decisions for him. Nobody really wants to pay attention to where the decision makers really lie. And it's not Donald Trump. Donald Trump's a mouthpiece. He's a mouthpiece, and he's surrounding himself with a bunch of horrible people. And it's just, I'm no longer in support of Donald Trump, right?
Well, that I will agree with you on, sir.
Huh?
That I will agree with you on. And coming from Alabama, I can kind of be thankful that you even got this close. No offense, but your state isn't exactly known for.
Oh no, I'm not from here originally. I took a job here.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
I hate this place.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
I'll be moving to Chicago. Probably at the end of this month. But the company I was working for, which got bought out by a larger firm, by the way, and I've just kind of been sitting in limbo waiting to transition into a new position as an executive VP for an asset management firm in Chicago. So like, yeah, no, this is not what I call home.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I understand that, man. But hey, I do want to get on some conversations with some people that are a little less like-minded than me. But I do appreciate the call, okay?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You have a good one, all right?
All right, bye-bye. You too.
All right, y'all. We're going to keep this thing going. Move on to the next caller. I really appreciate you. Let's keep this thing moving with another caller. Tad, thank you so much for the $5. Say what you will about Trump, but he won't speed in a school zone. That's bad, dude. That's so fucking bad. That's so fucking bad. And Shush, thank you so much for the power option. Shush, thank you so much for the gifts. And Willie, thank you so much for the jewels also. I appreciate that. If you like support, I do have super chat, super stickers, pay links in the bio. We're 2 of 7 through I don't even know what these are called, the party cactuses. So if you guys like to help support, I really appreciate that. Knocking out some live goals today. I really appreciate it. Trying to stay in that B5 league, hopefully. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I am 28.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do indeed.
Awesome. Why is that?
So I'll name 4 big policy areas. You can pick which one you want to talk about, but I'd like to start after that by just saying why I'll never vote for a Democrat again. But my main reasons for supporting Trump are tax relief, his policies on deregulation, crime, and foreign policy.
All right. Well, foreign policy is the big one. So why do you support Donald Trump's foreign policy?
Yeah, I think he's absolutely been the best foreign policy president of our lifetime.
Sure. How?
I believe that the Bush presidency ended in ignominy because of the failed invasion of Afghanistan, which obviously Trump negotiated a way out of and Biden fumbled the actual exit from. And Iraq speaks for itself. I believe Barack Obama did a lot of mixed messaging on foreign policy. The red line he wouldn't enforce in Syria, the drawing back and then surging of troops into Iraq. And then I think when it finally came to Donald Trump, it's been a very consistent talk, very roughly, very harshly, follow up when necessary, but he's more than willing to put down the guns and the fighting. I would not agree with his claim that he ended 7 or 8 wars. I don't know how many he's up to now, but he was certainly very important in ending the war between Israel and Hamas, pivotal in India and Pakistan as well. So I just think
so. A few things on that.
Better results from him.
That's not true at all. Donald Trump literally just threatens and then nobody listens, and threatens and nobody listens, and then threatens and nobody listens, and then threatens and nobody listens, and finally ends it when the other side gets everything that they fucking want, and then Donald Trump fails. And I'll give a perfect example of that with Iran. I think Iran is the best example of this right now. He threatened that he was going to pretty much demolish them, and then 24 hours, and then he backed out of that. And then it was another day, and then it was 2 days, then it was another week, and then it was 2 weeks, and then it was 48 hours, and Tuesday we're going to do it. And then when it came down to it, he ended up not doing what he said he was going to do. So just like that red line that you talked about with Obama, he ended up not doing what he said he was going to do. And in exchange for him doing that, Iran got everything they fucking wanted. Everything they could fucking even dream of. Included in the ceasefire was them to stop bombing them. In the Farsi version of the ceasefire, it said that Iran could continue building nuclear weapons. It gave them full control of the strait, not to mention them charging freaking $2 million for every single boat that goes through the strait, right? Which they split with Oman, which by the way, about 120 to 100 or 100 and 130 ships go through the strait every single day. So that's about $130 million, 100 to $130 million that Iran is going to be making a day. Okay, so we just wasted hundreds of billions of dollars, right? Donald Trump backed out of the deal that he said he was of the promise that he said he was going to do to completely, destroy the entire civilization. Literally, the genocide war crime that he threatened to do. He backed out of that, right? For us to give Iran every singular thing that they wanted.
Yeah, I just completely disagree with that argument. For one thing, you're acting as if issues that are still being discussed, this is only 48 hours into it, are already a fait accompli. Like the idea that we've given Iran everything they asked for, quote unquote, is completely ridiculous. I believe J.D. Vance earlier today saying we aren't too familiar with Iran's 10 points actually meant to be a kind of dismissive reaction to those lists of demands. The only thing we really have right now is a ceasefire. And that ceasefire is still being routinely violated by the Israelis and the Iranians. I think what Donald Trump is trying to do right now is to wind down the fighting, since there's been severe degradation of Iran's naval capabilities, of their missile launch systems, of their missile production systems, bases, manufacturing depots, and of their nuclear sites. What we're looking at right now is the beginning of a negotiation towards a longer structured peace.
If that's the case, sir, then I'm not the one giving, sir, then I'm not the one
So I
giving.
think that's just a completely erroneous point.
No, your point is erroneous, sir, because if that's your stance, right? If your stance is it's just a ceasefire and we haven't worked out all the details yet, then what you're doing is you're giving them credit for a deal that has not been worked out yet. I am giving them credit for what has already been worked out, which is the ceasefire, because everything that I just said was in the ceasefire agreement. Okay, that ceasefire agreement, the one that's being consistently violated, the one that Israel is violating, even though Donald Trump the reason that Donald Trump says, that we have a ceasefire, and like you said, it's constantly being violated, so we don't really have a ceasefire. Well, guess what? Two sides agreed to a fucking ceasefire, and all the things that I said, okay, were part of that ceasefire. That's all it was. So what you're saying is Donald Trump had a red line that he was going to destroy the civilization if they didn't completely disarm within, by last Tuesday, right? And out of that, we have only the deal that is going in the ceasefire. And then on top of that, to just add, even more to it, right? Now you're telling me that J.D. Vance, the person who was supposed to be in charge of this entire negotiation, has no clue what was in the ceasefire agreement that we just signed. So now they're either dumb or incompetent, right? I don't know which one it is at that point. It's either, it can only be one of the two.
Polly, come on. Polly, what I'm telling you is that there is no signed ceasefire agreement. that you are quoting Iran's 10 points, which was a document produced by one wing of what is a highly fractured country right now. And you are pretending that that is the basis for an ongoing situation being the ceasefire. It's not. Now, it has been floated as a potential baseline for long-term peace negotiations. But what is clear is you don't really know what you're talking about, and you're conflating one thing with another. And yeah,
well, cool. Here's literally whitehouse.gov where it's talking about the ceasefire that I was talking about. But please go ahead and tell me how I don't know what I'm talking about.
The ceasefire that you were talking about is literally nothing more than a ceasefire. There is no signed inked deal. There is no 10 points where we
a ceasefire is a deal. A ceasefire is a deal. It is a deal. All you're saying is, hey, the deal, hey, sir, all you're saying, sir, all you're saying, sir, all you're saying, sir, all you're saying, sir, is the deal that we already made isn't going to be the final deal. I never said it was. I never said that the deal that we made was the final deal, but you're acting like the deal we made doesn't exist, and then we have an entire other deal that we have to start from scratch on. No, there hopefully will be another deal later, but there already is a ceasefire agreement right now. That's still a deal, right? Donald Trump said that the part of his plan, in order to have a ceasefire, we're gonna have a ceasefire. And the only way we're going to have a ceasefire is if Iran agrees to open the Strait of Hormuz. That was his red line. They have to open the Strait of Hormuz in order to have a ceasefire, right? Now we're in a ceasefire. Is the Strait of Hormuz open? No, it's not. He folded. He folded. That is not strong foreign policy. Here's where I'll agree with you, sir, because you talked about the Syrian red line under Obama, right? You talked about that. Yes, I think if there is any one blunder of the Obama administration, that's it. Right? Because I think the Obama administration was great. But if there was one giant blunder of the Obama administration, that was it, right? Having the red line, folding to the red line. I completely agree. Okay? Donald Trump just did that exact same thing on fucking steroids. Okay? He gave he's given multiple ultimatums, multiple red lines, and every single time he does, he folds. How does that show strength?
All right. So the difficulty of what we're dealing with right now are the fact that there are multiple factions in Iran. And the reason why the Strait of Hormuz is still seeing reduced traffic is because there's a lack of trust on whether all of those factions are going to reduce their firing. My point is that a ceasefire is nothing more than a cessation of ongoing hostilities to create a forum where an actual peace deal can be negotiated, which is what is supposed to be starting in Islamabad, Pakistan. You have acted from the beginning of this discussion as if any of the points that Iran demanded are already inked and that Trump folded on any single one.
No, I am not. You just keep saying it. No, but I haven't said that. You just keep saying that I say it. I've actually said about three different times. No, sir. I have said about three. Sir, I have said three. No, sir, because I'm not going to continue doing this. This is crazy. This is crazy. I have said 3 different times that that's not what I'm saying, because you said that already. And then I clarified that that's not what I was saying. Then you said it again, and I clarified again that's not what I was saying. And now this is the 3rd time you're saying that I said that. So I'm going to clarify this for the last time so that hopefully there's not any more confusion. Okay? Because I need you to listen this time, because I do bore of explaining myself over and over and over. I am not making it sound like the ceasefire is a final inked deal. I am not. Okay? I do not believe that it is, because it's not, because that's not what ceasefires are. But what you're doing is you're pretending like the ceasefire is not a deal. A ceasefire is a deal. It's just not the ending deal. It's a preliminary deal to get to the next deal. But you don't just get to ignore all the qualifications of this deal for the next deal. The qualifications of this deal matter, because if you don't have the qualifications for this deal in place and they're actually strong, then the next deal doesn't hold any weight. You can't, JD Vance can't go to Islamabad and start fighting, okay, to make a deal, okay, if the ceasefire can't hold, because the agreements of the ceasefire don't exist on both sides, because they're not agreed to, because Donald Trump is folding to demands, or the demands are unclear, or what Donald Trump is claiming is happening and what Iran are claiming are 2 different things. There's no credibility to the next peace talks if these peace talks aren't solidified, and they're not. Okay? So stop pretending like I'm saying it's the final peace deal, okay? Because I'm not. Have I made myself clear this time?
Yes, you've made yourself very clear.
Perfect. Thank you.
So responding to that now, the only point that I was trying to make, and I'm sorry if it got lost in the details, was that there are no broader overall conditions for the ceasefire except that Trump wanted the Strait of Hormuz opened. It is seeing an increase in traffic. That will take time. You, at the beginning of this discussion, implied that Trump had surrendered on any additional number, including the joint structure toll collecting between Iran and Oman, which Trump said was interesting and we'll look at that. But I completely agree with your point that you just made, that ceasefires are not the final deal and that this one is looking shaky at best. What I imagine will happen if the administration does not get what it wants is that we will go back to fighting. We will continue to bomb their missile production sites, their nuclear sites, their naval assets. And if that is the outcome of this temporary ceasefire, if there is no final deal in Islamabad that makes both sides happy, I'm completely okay with that because that would be, in my opinion, Iranian obstruction preventing that because they're in no real position to negotiate except with the leverage they have over the Strait of Hormuz and international oil prices.
Okay. I don't believe any of that to be true. I don't think Donald Trump is going to go back to completely bombing them under any circumstances. And I think the reason for that is because A, Donald Trump is very, very fucking weak in tacos. But more importantly, it's because Donald Trump is not actually good at foreign policy, okay, in any way, shape, or form. The reason why Donald Trump is even in this war to begin with, and the reason the United States is even in this war to begin with, is because Donald Trump saw what happened in Venezuela, where we were able to go in there and just snatch Maduro to starve out Cuba or whatever reason, right? And he was like, "Oh, I can just go do stuff." And then he went and bombed the nuclear facilities, which apparently were obliterated and put away for decades, right? Decades out of commission. Even though somehow you and Donald Trump and everybody else are somehow saying that we're somehow destroying obliterated nuclear sites, which I don't know how that's possible. If they were completely obliterated 9 months ago or 10 months ago or whatever it was now, and freaking set back 2 decades, as Donald Trump said, then I don't know how the fuck we're destroying any nuclear sites. But Donald Trump got into this thinking that it was going to be a quick little thing, right? That he was going to get some quick clout from it, that he was going to be able to claim that he's this strong fucking president. And then he went in there, and guess what? It's not as easy as he fucking thinks. American troops are dying. Planes are being shot out of the air. We're spending billions of dollars. And more importantly to Donald Trump, the market is suffering, right? Oil's going through the roof. Oil futures are freaking skyrocketing. The stock market is not responding well, right? Unless it's more of a stock market manipulation thing, which I think all that is, right? So what he's going is going for this peace deal. And what I think is no matter what really fucking happens at this fucking talks, okay? No matter what happens at this talk, we're not going back to war. I don't think we are. I think we're going to stop bombing, and I don't think we're going to start bombing again. And I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong. I'm not trying to claim that, I'm 100% right on that. Okay. But Donald Trump doesn't have a taste for this. It's already been reported by multiple different agencies that he's talked to his aides consistently about how this war is getting in the way of his other objectives, i.e. building a ballroom. All right. That it's getting in the way of all the other projects that he doesn't want to do. Donald Trump is not a war president. Okay, there's a reason he ran on no war, because he doesn't have the ability to fight one. He has the ability to tell his military to go do some small little tiny operation. Okay, but because of Donald Trump's lack of understanding of geopolitics, he thought he was going to be able to do this on a small operation, and he's now finding out that he can't. There's a reason why he sent JD Vance. Okay. There's a reason specifically why he sent JD Vance, okay? Because JD Vance was opposed to this war to begin with.
JD Vance because JD Vance has the most trust with the Iranian officials for reasons that are part of why I don't particularly like JD Vance.
JD Vance never wanted this war to begin with. That's why he has the trust of
Correct.
Right? Correct. He never wanted it. And he told JD, and I guarantee you, like I'm not sitting in the Oval Office.
Trump doesn't feel
but I guarantee you, he went to that office and told JD Vance, you fucking end this thing under any circumstances possible. This thing needs to be done. Okay, I don't care what the situation is. End it and make sure we don't look like complete idiots. I guarantee you that's what he did. He has no will to going back to putting our troops in danger. I promise you he doesn't. Not because of the troops, but just because of all the other things that I talked about.
I think we should agree to disagree on whether or not the war will ever resume, because that's prognostication into the future. We could run ourselves silly talking about that. I do find it funny that you started this by saying Trump isn't very good at foreign policy, and then cited Venezuela and Cuba, two situations where his foreign policy has actually been very successful. But more to the point on Iran, I disagree with your characterization that he sent J.D. Vance to negotiate a surrender deal or to give in to anything Iran wants. I believe that Iran, at the end of the day, these negotiations are going to have to be agreed to by both Trump and what's left, I should say, of the regime in Tehran, because we're not even quite sure if their supreme leader, quote unquote, is out of a hospital bed. But I don't think a deal that gets the U.S. nothing and leaves Iran in a position without surrendering any of its enriched uranium, which again, Donald Trump has repeated multiple times as being a prerequisite to ending this war fully. I just don't see that happening. And, if it does, I'll say I was wrong. But I think, I don't think the entirety of Donald Trump's foreign policy is encapsulated in this one topic, though it is obviously the most recent. But,
opening the strait is not getting something. You understand that, right?
I'm sorry, repeat that?
Getting the strait open is not getting something. You understand that, right?
No, that's a status quo antebellum, but that was the prerequisite for a ceasefire. And I do think we're moving towards that slowly but surely.
I would pretty much bet you that the only thing that we get out of this is, if we're lucky, at the end of this, all we get is slightly worse than we were before. Yeah. But it is funny that you brought up Venezuela and Cuba.
Degraded.
What?
Severely degraded. They've lost over 100.
So what? How is that helpful for us? How is that helpful for us?
Of their missile launchers.
Cool. If they lost 100% of their missile launchers, how does that help the United States?
Simple. It prevents their weapons of war, their ballistic missiles, from being deployed against our allies in Europe. It prevents their weapons of war.
Their ballistic missiles can't reach our allies in Europe, nor were they trying to shoot them at them.
Maybe once they got a nuke, I'm pretty sure they would have tried.
Maybe once they got a nuke. So we're taking out the weapons that can't reach Europe and can't reach the United States in case one day they get a nuke, even though the director of national intelligence last year said they weren't trying to make a nuke.
The weapons can reach Europe. There have been multiple.
Oh, okay.
No, they can. Iran's furthest missile can hit the United Kingdom. So you're completely wrong on that point.
Yeah, but they were trying to hit them, right?
I don't know, but they certainly can.
Yeah, we should. By that standard, we should go and hit. North Korea, because their missiles can hit South Korea and they're our ally, right?
Well, you know what? We can't.
Their
hit
missiles.
North Korea because fucking Obama allowed them to get a nuke.
Oh, allowed them to get a nuke. So we should have just attacked them like this.
Hey, potentially, but now we're engaging in hindsight games. So
that's a little but you know what? It's funny. North Korea got a nuke, and have we been nuked yet? Sir?
Hello?
I said North Korea got a nuke. Have we gotten nuked yet?
Have we been nuked yet? Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
No, we're trying to prevent that from happening.
Oh, gotcha.
Should we wait until we're nuked in order to respond to any foreign aggression?
Oh, no. So we should just bomb any country who might be trying to get a nuke because they might nuke us one day.
I think we should engage militarily with any rogue foreign nation that is enslaved to a Shia death cult that is attempting to get a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, gotcha, sir. So let me ask you this question. So we don't attack North Korea, who's doing all of those things, right? Because they have a nuke, right? So don't you think that incentivizes Iran to get a nuke?
I don't think North Korea added any particular incentive.
Not what I asked you, sir. I asked you if North Korea is doing.
The reason why we've never gone to war with China is because they have.
Yeah, if North Korea
don't go to war with
the
incentives for Iran to get a nuke were clear.
Yeah, so if North Korea it does all the bad things that Iran is doing, but they have a nuke. So don't you think that incentivizes Iran to get a nuclear weapon?
Well, for one thing, if we want to dig it on the North Korea example, North Korea does not do all of the bad things that Iran
No,
does.
I don't want to.
Iran
I just want you to tell me if it
funnels
incentivizes
billions of
Iran because you're
dollars
avoiding the
into
question.
proxies
Nope,
across
you're
the
avoiding the
Middle East
question.
that
No,
attack
you're avoiding the
Israel
question.
and Americans on a
You're
regular
avoiding
basis.
the question.
Iran has killed over 1,000
You're
Americans
avoiding,
since the
sir.
Islamic Revolution.
This is very, very cute. You're avoiding.
All right, ask me again, and I will answer nothing but the question.
If we don't attack countries with nuclear weapons, don't you think that incentivizes Iran to get a nuclear weapon?
Yes, they have an incentive.
Yeah,
to get a
it
nuke.
does.
We should prevent
So
them from
literally
doing so.
before we attacked them, when we were in the JCPOA, right? And we were freaking releasing sanctions.
My God.
I am talking.
Sorry.
We were in the JCPOA. They weren't enriching past 2.7%. They were not trying to get a nuclear weapon at all. Donald Trump pulls us out of the JCPOA. They start enriching higher. Then we attack them. Now, not only have we allowed them to enrich higher, but we've given them more of a reason to get a nuclear weapon. Great job, Trump. We went from under Obama, them not enriching past 2.7%, to now them enriching up to 60% and giving them every incentive to have a nuclear weapon. Great job.
Okay. On the incentive question, I think it's a moot point because the incentive is always there for a rogue state to want to get a nuclear weapon. The precedent's been long established. I don't think anything in the last 10 years has done anything to change that calculus. On the JCPOA, since you bring it up, Chuck Schumer in 2015 actually opined on what a terrible deal it was. The JCPOA,
Chuck
which would have
Schumer sucks.
expired by this point anyway, did absolutely nothing except for tell the Iranians to pinky please don't enrich any uranium. We'll trust your analysis on whether or not you're enriching uranium.
Not true.
And then it has a sunset clause that allows them to, and even under the contents of that deal, they were allowed to enrich uranium up to a certain percent, which then would have given them a breakout
2.7.
period to then rapidly enrich.
2.7.
The reason why Donald Trump pulled
None of
out
what you just
it
said is true.
was because of the
Literally, no,
billions of
none of
dollars
what you just
that
said was true.
Obama-
Literally, none of what you just fucking said was true. Everything that you just fucking said was a lie.
Oh, Chuck Schumer didn't say.
Oh, I don't give a fuck what Chuck Schumer says. Chuck Schumer probably did. Chuck Schumer fucking sucks. Nobody even fucking likes Chuck Schumer. Why the fuck do I give a shit what he has to fucking say?
Because he's the leader of the Democrats in the Senate, you dingbat.
So what? He's a fucking moron, dingbat.
All right. I agree with you on that one.
Mike Johnson's the leader of the Republican Party. You agree with what he says? Because he's a literal fucking moron.
Well, agree to disagree on the literal moron part, but I don't agree with everything he says.
Okay, anyways, regardless, Chuck Schumer can literally leave the Senate tomorrow and would make my life so much better. He fucking sucks. Nobody
so there
gives a
was no
shit. Okay,
sunset clause in
regardless
the
of any of that.
JCPOA policy?
No,
There was no sunset clause?
the inspectors, okay, that were going in and testing Iran, actually from oh my god, EIAI, oh my god, I'm breaking my EIAI, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. From the UN. It wasn't from Iran pinky promising and putting an inspection on themselves.
Oh, you're right. Maybe in the ink of the deal, but the IAEA, I don't fucking know.
IAEA.
The UN inspector, IAEA, thank you, Polly. They were complaining from the beginning that they weren't getting proper access to these sites.
And then they were given proper access.
After Iran received $2 billion in cash with which to fund all of its proxies across the Middle East.
$1.7 billion, and that $1.7 billion was given them by the court system because they were sued for money from the 70s that we had held from them. That money was going to them. That money was going to them regardless of the JCPOA.
Some of it would have, yes, but the U.S. unfroze certain assets in agreement to them inking the deal.
That was the assets. That was the assets. It was literally the courts that did it, not Obama. That money was going to them anyway. It was their fucking money.
If they had continued to have been frozen and if the sanctions had remained in place, the courts wouldn't have released that money. You're being pedantic on this one.
Oh, okay. So instead, we have Iran now that's incentivized to get a fucking nuclear weapon. And, oh, yeah, Donald Trump is releasing sanctions on them also. And, oh, yeah, giving them money by freaking having ships go through the Strait of Hormuz. Oh, yeah, and allowing them to sell their oil. Literally way more money. Okay? Way more. They had what? $14 billion. They had $14 billion. They had $14 billion worth of oil on the freaking seas ready to sell, and Donald Trump released the sanctions on them. But you're complaining about $1.7 billion that Obama didn't even give them, that the court system gave them?
The court system gave them as a result of Obama's actions. But
Oh my
anyway,
God. Yeah, because
beyond
that's
that
how
pedantic
courts
point,
work.
Beyond that point.
Yeah, that
beyond
because
that
that's
point,
how
you
courts
once
work.
again just
That's
acted-
how courts
you
work.
once
Yep.
again just acted as if there were parts of the ceasefire that go beyond just the cessation of hostilities. We haven't given
That wasn't even part of the ceasefire. That wasn't even part of the ceasefire.
What
That was
sanctions
before
has
there was a
Donald Trump relieved on
ceasefire.
Iran? You just
Before
said
there
Donald
was a
Trump relieved
ceasefire.
sanctions on
That
Iran.
was before
What
there was a
sanctions have been
ceasefire.
relieved?
That was before there was a ceasefire.
What, the tolls? Or
The
the
$14
sanctions?
billion in oil that Donald Trump released sanctions on.
Donald Trump released sanctions on that oil to flood it into the market to reduce the prices.
And that money went to where?
The regime currently being destroyed.
The regime, right? And they're going to use that money for what?
I'm sorry, say that again?
And they're going to use that money for what?
Presumably to rebuild their country.
Oh,
But who
gotcha.
knows?
So they're going to use that money to fund their proxies, to build more weapons, to freaking fight the war against us, to do all of the things that you just accused fucking that 1.7 billion from Obama of doing. But now they're 14 billion. They're getting 14 billion. Crazy.
You know, I will agree with you on that one. That's a dumb move. I still think we should be attacking the country, attempting to get a nuclear weapon in the thralls of a death cult leadership that has attempted to destroy multiple allied nations of the United States. But yeah, I'll concede on that one. Dumb.
Cool. And right here, la da da da. I'll put it up on the screen so everybody can see. Boop 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 boop. In the 1670s, Iran was the largest partner of U.S. foreign military sales program, as an Obama administration official explained earlier this year. As part of the FMS program, a trust fund was established with Iranian funds to pay U.S. contractors as work progressed in various contracts in February of 1979, days before the culmination of Iran's revolution. The United States and Iran agreed to a memorandum of understanding that halted these payments and voided many of the remaining purchases. The MOU also called for Iran's unexpended FMS funds to be placed in an interest-bearing account. Later that year, after Iran's seizure of the U.S. embassy in Tehran and detention of the U.S. diplomats, the Carter administration froze all Iranian assets in the United States. The standoff was resolved nearly 15 months later with an agreement that freed hostages and established the Iran-U.S. Claims Tribunal to resolve the labyrinth of financial and commercial disputes. In 1982, Iran filed a claim with the tribunal pertaining to the FMS trust, which Lisa Gross, assistant legal advisor for the State Department, has described as a multi-billion-dollar breach of contract dispute covering 1,126 huge military contract sales. Gross stated that the two sides engaged in 40-some rounds of negotiations at this level. Iran ramped up its efforts to adjudicate the claim in 2015, asking the tribunal to schedule comprehensive hearings in the outstanding FMS claims and requested preliminary rulings. The FMS trust amounted to $6 million until the George H.W. Bush administration returned $200 million in Iran in a partial settlement in 1999. The settlement announced in January involved two payments returned of $400 million principal and payment of $1.3 billion in interest. The return principal, the Treasury, working with the Secretary of Defense and Accounting Services and Federal Reserve Bank, made $400 million wire transfer from DFAS to the Swiss National Bank.
Why did they ask to adjudicate it in 2015?
Probably because they wanted their
After the
fucking
deal
money.
was-
I don't fucking know, sir. This was from a freaking tribunal that was freaking way off the fucking books. It wasn't even 1.7. It was 400 million plus the 1.3 in interest, and it didn't even go to Iran. It went to a Swiss bank account.
That is controlled by who? Come on now.
Who cares, dude? It wasn't fucking the Obama administration
Iranians,
making a
come
deal.
on.
It
I'll
wasn't the
tell one thing,
Obama
since
administration. Sir,
I don't care if they handed it in
There's
fucking
nothing
cash.
that Donald
Sir,
Trump handed
I
$13
don't
billion
give a
in
fuck
cash
if they
to the
handed.
Iranians.
I don't
That is
give
an
a
estimate of
fuck.
the value of
I
Iranian oil.
don't give a fuck if they handed him $1 stripper bills. Obama didn't do it. It was their money. It was the court system that gave to him. See, I know you guys get really used to. I know you guys have. I know you guys because you guys have gotten too used to Donald Trump in thinking that the executive branch is supposed to control the court system. All right, but you guys trying to blame fucking Obama for all of this shit while your president literally hands them fucking money. right? Literally hands them
them money.
$14 billion
No, he
and then
removed-
another 130
he listed
130 million
Russian
a
oil
fucking
that is
day.
already in ships
As
during
you
the
guys
oil crisis,
literally
which was
watch your fucking
estimated to give
president
them
do
14
that,
billion.
okay? And you guys want to complain about a court giving Iran its own money. It's fucking sad, dude. Stop.
I think you're completely playing pedantic word games with this one, saying you literally handed them cash. For one thing, it is a sanctions relief on oil only.
Which amounted to what?
An estimate said it could be worth $14 billion.
Sure, let's make it half. Let's make it half. Let's say it was $7 billion. That's still 5 times what you claim Obama gave him. Good job.
You know what it wasn't, though? It was not a direct cash payment from anyone in the U.S. to Iran.
It wasn't a direct cash
don't
payment
care
from
if it
anyone in
was
the U.S. to
their
Iran
fucking money
under the
from the
Obama
beginning.
administration.
By that
It was a
logic,
direct
we should
cash
give the
payment.
Russians all
It was
their
a
money
direct
back.
cash
You were
payment
told on that
from
one, too, weren't you?
Iran to Iran because it was Iran's money. It wasn't our money.
so we should
It
give the
wasn't
Russians
U.S.
back all their
money.
money, too,
It
yeah?
wasn't U.S. money that went to Iran. It was Iran's money that went to Iran. Iran gave it to us. We gave it back to Iran.
And we shouldn't have done that.
Cool.
Whether
Take it
it
up
was
with
the
the fucking
fucking-
court system.
I'll take it up with the people who signed the JCPOA and unfroze
Oh,
Iranian
gotcha. So
assets
you're
and
gonna
allowed the
you're gonna
tribunal
take it
to
out on the people
make
who had
that decision.
nothing to fucking do with it. Cool, man. Thanks. Thanks. I might as well just take it out on you.
The
Hey,
JCPOA
hey,
had
you fucking
nothing to do
idiot.
with
Why'd
this.
you
It's
give
the biggest
Iran?
joke of the
Hey,
night.
hey, dumbass. Why'd you give Iran $14 billion?
We didn't give Iran
No,
anything.
you specifically.
We allowed
Why
them
did
to
you give?
sell
No,
oil.
why did you give?
We allowed
Why
them to
did you?
sell
Don't say
oil.
we. Why did you specifically give Iran $14 billion?
Why did I? You know what? I just had it laying around.
All right. Well, you're an idiot. I can't believe you did that.
I know. I'm such
And since,
an
and
asshole.
since we're just
Maybe
gonna
next
blame
time
people that have
maybe next
nothing to
time
do
I
with the
won't give away
situation,
half my
and since we're
fortune.
gonna
I'm so
blame people
sorry,
that have
Bobby.
nothing to do with the situation, then I might as well blame you for it. Okay? Since
So
we're just gonna
you're
blame
pretending that
random
Obama
fucking
and
beaver.
JCPOA
God
had
damn
nothing to
you,
do with the
Ed
situation
Sheeran.
by reading
God damn you for giving all this
whatever.
money to Iran. I can't stand you. It was probably because of that stupid Shiver song, which is the reason you gave all of that money to Iran. Let's just blame anybody. Let's just where's Carly Rae Jepsen at? Let's blame fucking her. Right? Doesn't fucking
Hey,
matter.
but your
Let's just
logic,
blame
we
all
should give
sorts of
the
other
Russians
random people
$300
for doing all
billion
sorts of
in
stuff.
frozen assets 'cause
For
it's
doing
their
all sorts
money.
of stuff. When the courts give Iran's money to Iran, then it's Obama's fault. When Donald Trump specifically
courts wouldn't have
releases
been able to give
sanctions
that money
on
without
Iranian
the
oil to hand them fucking
JCPOA.
money, they could hand them fucking money, then it's
I
not freaking
understand
Trump's
cultural
fault. That makes a whole bunch of fucking
relationships
sense,
are
dude.
difficult for Democrats to
I'm
understand,
glad
but
to know
here's the
that
thing.
you're very consistent in your argument.
I understand causal relationships are hard for you to understand, but they wouldn't have been allowed or able to move that money into
Prove
the
it.
Swiss bank account that we don't
Prove
know
it.
who controls it without the
Prove it.
JCPOA.
Prove
By
it.
your logic,
No,
we
prove
should
it.
give the Russians all the
Prove
money
it.
they held
Prove it.
in Europe and
Prove
the United
it.
States. I mean, it's a completely ridiculous
Prove it.
argument. Their money.
Prove it.
Prove it.
Yeah, because
If
I
it
put
was
up on the
frozen,
screen.
it wouldn't
Because
have been
I
able
put
to
on the
have been
screen.
moved out of the
Because I
United
put on the
States,
screen.
ding back.
Because I put
That's
on the
what
screen.
frozen means.
Listen, hey. Because I put on the screen showing it was the court system that did it. You said it had nothing to do with the court. It's the JCPOA.
The court
Prove
system
it.
did it after the JCPOA was signed.
So what? Whether they did it before or after the JCPOA was signed, they still did it. If they did it after the
They did it
JCPOA
because
signed,
they were allowed
if they
to do
did
it
it
because the
after the
JCPOA was signed.
JCPOA was
That's why Iran
signed, sir,
asked for the
if
money
they
in
did it
2015.
after the JCPOA was signed, then that makes even more proof of my point that the JCPOA didn't do it.
What do you mean? They
Thank
did
you
it
for proving my
after it was
point
signed
even
because the
more. I really
JCPOA
appreciate
allowed the
that.
money to be
I was
moved.
wondering how
It
I was going to
actually
prove
did
my
prove
point
your
even more, man. Thank you.
It does not prove your point even more.
It does.
It
Look,
does
I know you just
not.
want to be pedantic,
If
but
the
it does.
JCPOA hadn't been signed, the money wouldn't have been able to have been moved.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I already proved you wrong.
That's
It's already
not
been on the screen. Sir, it's already been on the screen. Everyone has already read that you're fucking wrong. I'm not going to sit here and continually fucking go back and forth with you with your feelings and my facts. Okay? Because that's all we're doing right now. All we're doing right now, is I'm putting up facts on the screen and you're telling me all about your fifis, okay? So I don't need to hear any more of your fifis, okay?
Okay, you want to talk about something else?
Not particularly, no.
Do you want to talk about the CHIPS Act?
I particularly no, not really. Yeah.
You want to talk about the CHIPS Act?
Do you not hear?
Well,
am I stuttering? Is this thing on?
policy.
Hello? Is this thing on?
No, sorry, we can't hear you.
Okay, cool. No.
Okay, it's your show then. Hang up.
Okay. Bye. I was trying to be nice about it and just say I've been on with you for about a half an hour and I want to have a different conversation with somebody else. But if you want to be a little prick about it, then fuck you. I'll just hang up. Make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you. I was gonna be nice about it, but if you want to be a little prick about it, then I'll just hang up. Y'all, if you guys like support the live, I do a super chat, super stickers, pay links in the bio. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Just like Infamous with the $2 says, Hail Satan. Thank you so much, Infamous. I really appreciate that $2 super chat. Also, I thought I saw somebody. Oh, shoot. I might have missed it. I think there was a member over here someplace, but I missed it. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. VJ's been a member for 7 months. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
It's insane.
And Jay, thank you so much for $10. Say they just flip out when you prove them wrong. LMO, good luck with them nades. Yeah. Dude, like I thought we were having a decent conversation. He did not like that. Yeah, that was a fun conversation. I actually didn't mind that one. I actually had a great time there. All right, y'all, please support the live. I really appreciate you guys. We do have the live gift goal going on to the clown bookies. I don't know. I threw them up. I've never seen them before. I don't even know if you guys can gift them or not. But make sure you guys are sending those heart me's too. We're at about 100. We should easily be at about 200 right now. And we should easily be at 200,000 likes also. We're already like we're an hour and a half into the live. We should easily be at 250,000 likes right now.
It's insane.
So if you guys help support, I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. True, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. So thanks to caller, I have a new system. When the juice is empty, Obama did it. When bank doesn't balance, Obama did it. Usually when I stub my toe, I just yell, but Biden. But Biden. That's usually what I yell. It's usually pretty helpful. It works really well. Thank you so much, Truth. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And thank you for Diamond for the clown boogie. I really appreciate that too. Hello, how are you? Hello? Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
28.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah.
Awesome. Why is that?
Because I believe he's making more jobs for people like me.
Really? Who are people like you? People in another country?
No. People that have experience with assembling like motherboards, electronics.
Oh, cool. And how has Trump made more jobs for people like you?
He's trying to make more chip production in America rather than relying on Taiwan and China for the chip production. Like he made more Intel, like Intel's Ohio fab, the fabrication in Ohio. And there's been a lot of job openings here in California for Sanmina, Flextronics, that have to do with microchip production.
Yeah.
So I just believe that's all of his doing, because he's trying to bring all the production in America.
And what policy did he do all that?
I don't think it's a policy. He's just trying to make more construction and fabs here.
Oh, gotcha. So you think he just walked into the Oval Office and just was like, more jobs, more jobs. And then maybe he consulted like a Oman or something. And they were just like, more jobs, So
I think it's because we put the tariff on China, like 100% tariffs on China. That's why they don't want to send us their products, their material. So most of the material is being built here.
All right. Well, I'm tired of playing around with you. The reason why all these chip manufacturings and motherboards and all this sort of stuff and semiconductors are being built in the United States is due to the Chips and Science Act that was passed under the Biden administration. It literally is what isolated us from Taiwanese chips, is what brought TSMC and NVIDIA over the United States. The reason why all of these companies are building, especially in places like California, and probably the only reason that you have a job is because of the Biden administration.
But they just opened up recently.
Yeah,
There's been
see,
a
when
lot of
policies
openings
happen,
recently.
sir, and you have agreements to start building plants and building factories and building, construction and all that sort of stuff, it's not you sign the policy and then 6 months later everything is open. The Chips and Sciences Act is going to last like over the next like 10 years from the time it was signed. It'll still be the next president going on, and we'll still be building chip manufacturing in the United States thanks to the Chips and Sciences Act under the Biden administration.
But Trump literally said we don't want to deal with China or Taiwan for their microchips. We want to rely on them. He doesn't want to rely on them at all. Like
Congratulations. Maybe he doesn't. The reason why we're not relying on them is because, dude, Donald Trump takes credit for Joe Biden shit all the fucking time. It's like his favorite thing to do. He literally will get on stage and be like, I'm just so happy that, I'm so happy that we're here and that I'm announcing this plant. And then you Google search it and you're like, plant. Oh, this plant was announced 2 years ago under the Biden administration that it was going to be built. They just didn't start breaking ground until now because it takes that long to start building a plant.
Okay. So you're saying all these job openings in this tech industry, the microchip industry, is because of Biden?
Yes.
Can you prove that?
Yes. Read the Chips and Sciences Act.
Chips and Sciences Act.
Yep.
All right. I guess I'll do that, man.
Yeah. Which again, I agree with all these things, sir. But yeah, this is under the Chips and Sciences Act. This is not a. Yeah, that's all it is. It's a Chips and Sciences Act, which is a great act. W's Joe Biden. W's in the chat for Joe Biden for the amazing Chips and Sciences Act. Hell yeah.
So this is all because of Biden.
Yeah, bro. I'm not, dude. Go look it up. I don't need to sit here and over explain it for you, man. Like you said, you're 28 years old, right?
Yeah.
You said you build board like computer boards and stuff, or what are they called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you go to college?
I assembled them. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go to college?
No.
Okay. Did you graduate high school?
I have a high school diploma.
All right. You know how to read then. You'll be fine.
To be assembler, you don't need a degree.
Yeah, I know. Joe Biden's Chips and Sciences Act created hundreds of thousands of jobs in chip manufacturing that don't require a college degree. Yeah. Many of which the pay is 6 figures. Yeah. W's in the chat for Joe Biden again.
Bro, Biden did this. You're telling me Biden did this?
Bro, just go look it up. Go look up Chips and Sciences Act, Joe Biden, the effects, what it did, what it built, jobs it created. Just go. I don't need to tell, dude. I can literally walk you through it if you need me to. Like, but literally, dude. Like, you're gonna believe it a lot more if you just go look it up yourself, man. It'll take you.
I know. Yeah,
it'll take you 15, 20 minutes of the like go. You said you're 28, so you're old enough. Go get off this live. Go jump on Chat GPT or I don't fucking care, Grok, whatever y'all kids are using these days. Go jump on whatever, Google, whatever, and just go look it up, have it spit out all the answers, read it, grab a drink, enjoy the read, and then you'll see how the Biden administration created all these jobs.
Okay, well, I guess I assumed wrong then, because what I read on my news feed on Twitter, like, it was all about Trump making jobs here.
The Twitter news feed controlled by Elon Musk. Yeah, that's not really surprising. No offense, but that's not exactly the best place to get your news from.
Yeah, I just found so Chips and Science Act of 2022, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I never heard about this, so.
Yeah. So, sir, presidents and politicians and whoever, they can get up on stage all day and they can run their fucking mouths, right? Just jab, walk away. Policy is what does things. Policy creates jobs, right? Policy can destroy jobs too, right? Policy can do all sorts of things, but policy does that type of stuff. Okay, that's what policy does. Just running your mouth doesn't do shit.
I did not know about this right here.
All right, man. Well,
I don't agree with Trump sending hella money to Israel. I thought this was a silver lining for him. I thought, but like, I guess I'm wrong.
You are. But it's okay. Go find out for yourself, man. But I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna go move on to the next caller. But what'd you say your name was?
Rovneil. It's an Indian name.
Oh, I can't pronounce that. So I'm not gonna fuck up your name by trying to pronounce it. But I hope you freaking learned something today, man. Learning is always great, right? Reading is fundamental.
Yep.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Thank you. Yep.
All right. Eric, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It said more jobs, gong bell. Yeah, I mean that he sounded like he was honest. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much, Eric. I really appreciate that. He sounded like he was honest. Right? Hopefully he learned something. Hughes, reading is fundamental. 0913 lady, thank you so much for the clown boogie. We're about 50% the way through that. I appreciate that. And thank you for all the super chats. W's in the chat for gifters. We're going to keep that going. We still haven't gotten up to 200,000 likes. Wow, I thought we would totally be there by now. Let's get this thing up to 200,000 likes. Please and thank you. Tap, 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 tap. Send those daily heart me's if you haven't. And help me clear the live gift goal. Appreciate you. Hello, how are you?
Six, seven.
6, 7. Hello, how are you?
Good. How's it going, man?
It's going great. How old are you?
So, what's that?
I said, how old are you?
41.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
No, I actually don't. But there's, you're right about Biden and the CHIP Act. But the thing is it's local governments that approve these facilities. You know, that CHIP Act allows government funding for these facilities. I'm in construction. I just built was representing Q-Cells in Georgia for their solar manufacturing plant. Mm-hmm. And they got $3.5 billion from DOE that's not having to be repaid back.
So it's a mix of both, sir. I don't disagree with you. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. It's just a mixture of both, right? The Chips and Sciences Act, it put major tariffs on foreign chips, right, in order to force the production back here. Huge tariffs, right? Then it gave gave subsidies and incentives to those companies to come here, right? So that's what they did, and then it helped to help local governments to be able to approve those facilities and to push it in to create jobs. So it's a mixture of both, right? It's not one or the other. Yeah, it's both.
Yeah,
one helps the other.
So it's like the whole government working the proper way, you know. And to be honest, I don't support
the whole government working together. No way, dude. Is that possible?
Occasionally it is.
Fake news. Fake news. This is fake news. Fake news.
It's all
never
fake
heard
news,
of this.
right? No, but no, you know, I don't agree with you all the time, but that's what's great about our country, right? We don't have to agree all the time.
Yeah.
I feel that the whole thing just needs to be torn down and built back up. Seems just like we're going through some crazy times right now, you know? So, but appreciate what you're doing, man.
I appreciate that, man. You have a good one, all right?
You too.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't mean to think that it wasn't local governments that do it. Of course local governments do it, right? Like the government's not forcing, the government's not forcing plants to be like built in places where they don't want them. You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be pretty shitty. That'd be pretty shitty. What was I gonna do? I realized my Zoom is like really like not. Oh, hello there. This is where I was supposed to be the whole time. I moved my camera. And it's definitely not in the right spot. All right, we're going to keep this thing going. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. How old are you?
What?
How old are you?
18.
Awesome. What year were you born?
I hate Donald Trump. I hate the whole presidency. I hope Donald Trump dies.
Well, I don't think he was of age. Ugh. I don't think he was of age. I'm pretty sure that would be that's a negative on that. Youngster had some serious feelings over there. Yeah, someone might end up on a list. I'm not sure. All right, don't know what that was, but I'm not doing that today. I don't know what that was, but I'm not doing that today. I'll tell you that much. I don't know if that person was okay or not. Shush, thank you so much for the clapping seal. Shush, also thank you so much for the thumbs up. And 228, thank you so much for the jewels also. Yeah, I don't know what that was. That was really weird. Who's it? Hot Dog, thank you for the clown boogie. I was boogieing with it. We boogieing over here. Hello, how are you? Okay, goodbye. I think people get surprised when I answer the phone. Someone said, I guess I'll be grateful to Biden. Yeah, you have to. You have to, whether you like it or not. Hello, how are you?
I just shorted my pants.
All right,
It
Donald.
stinks so bad.
All right, Donald.
Okay. I think you'll get surprised when I answer the phone. Someone said, I guess I'll be grateful to Biden. Yeah, you.
They never know what to do when I just don't hang up. They just never know what to do when I don't hang up. They just. All right, that was Pete Hegseth. I heard Pete Hegseth was was shitting himself too. That's what I heard. That's the rumor. Hello, how are you? Yeah, I figured it was the caller that knew about the Chips and Science Act. I figured. I mean, I hope that he, would spend a little bit more time here. Anyways, y'all, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. If you guys like to support the live, super chat, super stickers, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, at Polypolitics, live gift goal. Let's get to 250,000. We hit 500,000 last night, and we could have probably gone further. I want to get back to that today. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
Oh, I'm 63.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
No. Not at all. I actually was calling in. I was wondering what your opinion was. I of course, I'd heard rumors and things like that about what your opinion was that possibly Israel had information about the Epstein files on Trump, and that's why he started this war in general. Because to keep that out of the media, and I don't know if there's any, relevance to it or the possibilities there, because obviously he didn't go before Congress, which he never does. But I'm just wondering what your thoughts were on that.
So this is not like my you just want my opinion, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's Thursday. I'm gonna have a little apple juice. We're gonna have a little fun right now, okay? Facts of the matter. I have zero pieces of data or facts or intelligence to confirm anything that you're saying. Okay? Now, that was Pauly speaking, okay? Pauly has no facts and no data. Pauly believes in facts and data, okay? That's it.
Right.
Chris Fucking somebody's got fucking something, dude. Somebody's got fucking something. That's all I'll fucking say. I don't know if it's Israel. I don't know if it's fucking Russia. I don't know who the fuck it is. Somebody someplace has some fucking something. Okay? That's all I'm gonna fucking say. Ain't no motherfucking way, all right, that we're rolling out the red carpet for Putin and spreading Russian propaganda and just fucking handing fucking everything over hand and foot to fucking Netanyahu. He was mentioned in the files 100,000 times, which means somebody's got that shit on fucking video or something. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't know who. I don't know if it's one of them, all of them, somebody not related. I don't know, but somebody's got some fucking shit someplace. That's all I'm gonna say. Now that's just my opinion. All right, that's just my opinion. That's just my. If I was a betting man and I could prove it, that's what I'd bet on.
Well, I would too. I find it remarkable that that this whole operation was obviously made up with paper clips and anyway, I'm ex-military, so the whole operation is absurd. Any general, any admiral, anybody that's up in the 4-star range even would tell them that you have to secure the Strait of Hormuz before you, and I've been over in that neck of the woods, and anyone would tell you have to, fight anybody in NATO or even talk to anybody about that, and they would have told them right away, look, we need to do this. If there was a valid, to go to war was valid, they would need to secure the Strait of Hormuz before they went to war. So the absurdity that's going on in our military and our government, none of the military like Pete Hegseth. They all think he's incompetent, and he really is. And his cabinet, he's gotten rid of generals that actually say anything or stand up to him. So in this regard, the GOP, you would think they would stand up, but they're a bunch of cowards, so they're not going to. So either there's some kind of, they've got the GOP so scared of their shadow about something. I don't know what it would be. It's all speculation because we don't have the information, but here we go again with going through the midterms to get the Democrats then to change things. And I've always been where I think we need to have, two parties at least, so that way we can, have some kind of something even, between things. But of course, they never can get along, and corporate has bought off every one of them. So I understand your point, brother. I really do. I am going to let you go so I can see if I can get a different conversation in, but I do really appreciate you and thank you for your service. All right, man. No, and I appreciate you. Listen, thanks a lot for your show. I think it really helps people. So
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. W's in the chat for caller. Thank you so much for that, man. I do really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
Awesome. How old are you? I'm sorry, what was that?
Hello?
Hello?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
I'm 69.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Hell no.
All right.
No way, no how. I just wanted to know, when are they going to clean up the Justice Department?
Well, I mean, they got rid of Pam Bondi. That's something, right?
Yeah, but she's still under Trump control, I think.
She definitely is. She knows where all the bodies are buried, so she ain't going too far. No, they won't. We won't clean up the Justice Department until Trump's out of office. That's about it, or until we get enough Democrats in Congress to impeach somebody. I don't fucking know, to get rid of them. But yeah, good question, man. I'm gonna move on, but I appreciate you. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, how are you? All right, and they're gone. All right. You think Pete Hegg said that? I think Caroline Levitt's the next one gone, to be completely honest with you. I think Caroline Levitt's the next one gone. All right, if you still support Trump, call in on the number. If no one that supports Trump comes up in the next 2 minutes or so, if you have an engaging question or engaging thought that you want to come up on the live and you're friendly, I'll let you come up for a second. If I don't get a Trump supporter in the next like 2-3 minutes, I'm gonna give another second. But please, while we're doing that, get this thing up to, we got to 250. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. And thank you so much, Hot Dog, for the hearts too. Can we get this thing up to 300,000? I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Just keep this thing going.
Engaging thought that you want to come up on the live and
Hello?
you're friendly, I'll let you go for a second. If I don't get a Trump supporter in the next
Hello?
let me give another second. But please, while we're doing that.
All right. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm doing great. 18.
Awesome. What year were you born?
It's insane.
January 26th.
All right. January 26th of a year. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 50.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah, and no, I'm kind of iffy now. I'm on the fence. I got a lot of issues with myself, but, you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, only time will tell. You know, you got to let somebody cook for a while to see what they making. And, you know, you liberals, you guys never gave Trump a chance. Democrats never gave him a chance. It was since 2015 just bombarding that dude with nothing but drama and problems. And
How did the Democrats bombard him with trauma?
why you support a rapist and this and that?
Well, how did they?
He ain't
How
no
did they?
rapist.
How did the Democrats surround him with drama?
What? Dude, go back to 2015 when he came down that elevator, and then go back again and sit there and look every time they try to bash that dude.
You mean he was part of an election because that's how elections work in the United States? That you have candidates and those candidates talk shit on each other. That's just how an election works. Stop being so freaking soft, man.
Hey, dude, 90% of Americans came out and voted for Trump, including the Amish.
90% of Americans. That's a fucking joke, right?
No, it's not. They came out in fucking droves.
Sir,
Even
how many,
the Amish came out voting
how many
for
votes
Trump.
did Donald
What are you
Trump get?
talking about?
How many votes did Donald Trump get in the last election?
I don't know, man. How many did Joe Biden get with all them illegals and all that, you know?
More than Trump.
People stuffing ballots.
That's how many he got. More than
Hey.
Trump. A lot
Hey,
more than
so-
Trump, actually. Not even really close. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't even matter. Trump won, so it don't matter if he got
Against
one
Biden?
more
No, he
vote
didn't.
Then the part.
No, Biden beat him.
Hey,
Biden whooped him really
No,
bad,
but-
actually.
all right, then why ain't Biden president?
He was president, sir. That's when he beat him.
No, I'm talking about this last election. People
Biden
came out
didn't run in this
droves.
last one. Biden got 0 votes because Biden didn't run in the election.
Dude, I don't know what the hell you talking about, man, but it is what
Donald
it is.
Trump ran
Or he-
against Kamala Harris in the last election, not Joe Biden. So Joe Biden got 0 votes. Okay. Yes, he probably got 90% more votes than Joe Biden did because Joe Biden got 0 because Joe Biden wasn't running.
Yeah. All right, I didn't hear you correctly. I was putting in some earbuds. But anyways, what's your? I heard you earlier, and you were all over the place with when I first started jumping on here. You were talking about men and women's bathroom. Then you guys jumped on the straight not being open. Then you guys were all over the place. And I
You're
don't
a
want to.
fan. You've been on for the whole conversation. That's crazy. You've been on for
Well,
2 hours. That's pretty impressive.
Hey man, I'm just whatever. But anyways,
He a fan. He a
I want
fan.
to
He a
change the
fan.
subject up a little
He a
bit
fan.
because
He a
I've
fan.
been seeing these videos while I was scrolling, and you liberals around here always talking about ICE agents are unconstitutional for randomly stopping illegal migrants and asking for their IDs and talking about it's a Fourth Amendment violation and they kidnapping kids and this and that. What you think about that?
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, there's a lot of videos floating around with ICE agents randomly stopping people and asking them for their IDs to see if they're illegal migrants, and some of them that are, they're taking their kids and this and that. And I was wondering what you think about all the far left that you guys always talk about. ICE is unconstitutional for randomly stopping people and asking them for their IDs and all that, and it's a Fourth Amendment violation. What you think about that?
Yeah, it is. It's like so many violations. Also, it's racial profiling, which is just sad.
Oh, okay. Now, what about a regular police officer in a routine traffic stop stopping you and asking you for your ID and your driver's license, insurance, and your paperwork and writing you tickets for not wearing a seatbelt or a turn signal out or whatever the hell? The cop randomly stopping you in public ain't a Fourth Amendment violation?
No, because they're stopping you with cause. You just said all the causes, right?
Oh,
so it's a
it's
violation of the law. Sir, I let you ask your whole question, so now it's my turn. It's a violation, okay, to not wear your seatbelt. It's a violation not to have your turn signals working or to do an unsafe lane change. So therefore, they have cause to stop you. And once they have cause to stop you, then they can ask for your ID. But even then, you still have certain rights, right? Like in certain, depending on which state you're on, you don't have to hand them the ID. In certain states you're on, you don't even have to put down your window. You have to identify yourself because that's the law. Excuse me, with your ID, right? But they can't just stop you and pull you over and ask you for your identification just because. They can't pull you over and just ask you.
Maybe I said it wrongly with, you got a light out or something like that. Maybe I said it wrong, but let's take just the regular black people walking down the street. Cops always stop and grab them way before Trump ever took scene.
Yeah, that's illegal and against the Fourth Amendment. Yeah, that's also illegal and against the Fourth Amendment.
How many? And then you guys want to talk about how ICE is kidnapping kids and talking about these kids, they've been here since they were babies, whatever, and I feel bad for the kids because they should have never been put in this position.
It sounds like you feel bad for the kids. Yeah, it really does sound like it. Yeah.
No, it really does.
Whenever I think that somebody like feels bad about the kids, I usually hear them go, yeah, something like, yeah, like whatever, like I feel bad for the kids, or like who fucking cares or whatever. Yeah, that really, that really shows that you care,
No, because I'm saying it in your guys' ways when you guys are like, they're kidnapping kids and this and that, and they're deporting them and they've been here for years. What about CPS kidnapping kids? And there's no due process for us, because I've been a victim of that, and I got my kids back by learning the law. And a lot of people don't even know the law, and that's what breaks my heart the most is we go to school and we're indoctrinated with the Webster's dictionary, believing these words mean this. And then when you actually
people can't take your kids without due process. Okay, CPS can't take.
Oh, so due process, right? So you want to talk about? Oh, CPS got a phone call saying.
Now I have to bring your volume down, okay, because you're not letting me talk, all right? I'm trying to have a conversation. You're speaking, and then I'm trying to speak after you like an adult. But if every time you speak and I go to respond, I say 2 words and you start screaming, then we're not having a conversation. You're just grandstanding, okay? So I am going to respond now. Your turn to be quiet, okay?
Well, I wasn't done. That's the problem. You keep cutting me off.
Well, sir, unfortunately, I do have to keep the live moving. This is not your show to grandstand for 10 minutes at a time, okay? So you make a point, and then after your point, it's my turn to respond. You don't get to go point for point for point for point for point, okay?
All right, whatever, man. Hey,
perfect.
What do you identify as?
Sir, what I was saying is CPS requires due process in order to take your children. They can't just walk up one day and just arbitrarily take your children. And if they do that, then they're violating the law. And there have been many court cases against, CPS people for either taking kids when they weren't supposed to or not taking kids when they were supposed to. So if CPS came and took your kids, sir, sounds like they had some type of probable cause to do that. Now, whether that was a valid probable cause or whether they deserve to be taken away, they had to have had some type of probable cause, or maybe they didn't, and that's why you were giving your kids immediately back because it was against the law. So yeah, just the same way that there's laws.
No choice but to give my kids
just
back.
the same way. that there's laws that govern whether CPS can take your children. There are laws that govern whether whether customs or whether ICE can go and just steal children, right? Now your law falls under, normal state law, where that law falls under the Constitution.
Yeah, and that Constitution is under the Commerce Clause, the Supremacy Clause, and all types of other garbage that don't even apply to us because it's through Congress. They're the ones who are allowing legislation on a state level. The feds are paying the states, and the states are paying their elected officials, and the states are paying these teachers even in our school system to indoctrinate our kids with the him, her, he, she, and talking about identity garbage.
Not pronouns,
your
sir.
guys' defense,
I can't believe schools are teaching children pronouns. That's horrible. I remember when I was in school. I remember when I was in school and I had to learn about pronouns. It was very. I preferred like adverbs. Adverb day was cool, but the day I had to learn about pronouns, it was like it deeply bothered me. I'm actually still traumatized, I think.
Yeah, but that's identity they're doing.
No, sir. They're teaching people English. It's called the English language, right? English, right? You had like history and science, social studies, and then you had
You know what it's going to be like one day? Can I roll through this with you one time? Hey, can I tell you something? Imagine 10 years from now, right? How old are you? About 30 years old, 40 years old? So imagine you being 50 years old, right? And you start jumping on social media platforms, and these kids are 20 years old. All right, this is the future, and they're like, "What is your animal identity, and what type of litter box do you buy for your animal?" And you're like, "I identify as him, her. I don't do that identity stuff with animals." And they're like, "Get Gramps out of here. Somebody come get your unk. He don't even identify as an animal. He don't even have a litter box to piss and shit in a corner. He probably pisses and shits in a corner by himself." Now, what happens when that happens?
Okay, well, a couple things on there. I'm about to be 40 this year, and I already don't watch a bunch of 20-year-olds on social media. So if you're 50 and you're watching 20-year-olds on social media, that's really the creepy part, okay? So if I'm already not doing that at 40, I don't think I'm going to be 50 looking to see what 20-year-olds are fucking doing. Second of all, okay, if you want to go piss and shit in a litter box right now, that's none of my business. Have fucking at it. Truthfully, I couldn't give a shit, dude. Go do it in your fucking house. Really, really fucking means nothing to me. But see, here's the difference, sir. You're saying, oh, they'd be like, Unk doesn't fucking even identify as an animal. Sir, nobody's asking you to identify as a motherfucking thing. Nobody gives a shit what you identify as. Literally, no one fucking cares, okay? All that they're asking,
and that's the problem with you guys. You guys are always trying to justify stuff. These kids are all over
sir,
TikTok
all
and social media.
of them. All right, I'm going to mute you again because, again, your self-control is lacking, okay? You don't have much of it, all right? Nobody's asking you to do shit, but just be tolerant of other people, okay? If somebody else says, oh yeah, I go by he, him pronouns, then just refer to them as he, him pronouns. If you make a mistake, that's okay too. But no one's asking you to do shit, but to be tolerant of other people. And if you aren't tolerant of other people, guess what, bud? Nothing happens. Literally nothing happens, okay? Literally, you walk away, everyone goes, that guy's a fucking asshole. Right? Because you are, right? And everybody goes, that guy's a fucking asshole. And then everybody just goes along with their fucking business. You don't even have a train of thought for them later on in the fucking day.
I got a couple kids that are in their 20s, and my youngest is 16. That's why I'm all over the place to see what the hell's going on with this new generation of kids, because I don't want my kids to fall in those cracks. That's why I'm all over the place.
Yeah, how dare we teach our kids tolerance, right?
No, how dare we teach our kids identity when it doesn't involve him, her, he, she, and identifying as furries running around, because that's what it's coming down to. In the next few years, that's what you're going to see, is these new kids talking about furries.
How old's your daughter?
And what is your identity?
How old did you say your daughter was?
I didn't say. I didn't say daughter. I said I got a couple kids in their 20s, and my youngest is 16.
Oh, sorry, it was a son? It's not,
Yeah,
I just
I
thought
got
you said
one
daughter.
girl.
It's not that
She's in her
serious, bro.
late
Are you
20s,
having a hard time
and
with
the
their
youngest
gender
is
right now?
16.
Are you having a hard time with their gender?
No, I'm not having a problem with their shit. I'm having a problem with people that they're arguing with because I'm old school with my kids. I tell them straight up what it is. And they're like, dude, these people, I'm trying to get in their heads, pops, and they ain't listening, man. Someone's indoctrinating these people in schools and this and that. They try doing that shit with me.
No, sir. Your kids are just better than
a
you.
couple of the kids,
Yeah.
hey, they came home with these books, these porno books from school.
That's a lie.
And talking about
That's a lie. Your kids are just better than you, sir. That's all that is. Okay. Your kids are just better people than you. Okay. Your kids go to school, learn tolerance, learn about all sorts of other people. And then what they do is when they're at school, they talk shit about you, right? They say, oh yeah, my dad, well, he's a giant bigot and doesn't freaking care about anybody else. But you know, he's my dad and I love him. I think they'll get out of that later too. Okay. But what you should just be doing, you should just let kids, just go ahead and be kids. All right. Because I don't tell my daughter what her pronouns are. I don't tell her that she needs to have pronouns or identify as by anything. I just tell my daughter to just go live fucking life and grow the fuck up. Right. And because I raised my daughter to be independent and a strong woman, she'll figure out what she wants to do and well, you know, how she wants to identify and what parts of, what parts of society and culture she wants to be a part of. And she'll go down those roads and the other ones that she won't. I'll advise her correctly on how to, be a good, upstanding member of society. Right. And I'll help her to grow into that. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm not going to do is go on social media and follow a bunch of kids her age and then complain about how they act. That just makes you the old ignorant man, sir. And you need to stop being that. You need to let your kids fucking grow up without trying to raise a bunch of bigots because you were raised poorly or you don't have an understanding of, of culture or society or how we need to progress as a nation. And because you don't have an understanding of that, you for some reason think that your kids shouldn't either. Sir, we're supposed to raise our kids in a better world than what we grew up in, right? We're supposed to raise our kids in a world that's more accepting, that's less racist, that's more inclusive, that's less misogynist, right? We're supposed to raise our kids to be better than what we grew up in, not to try to bring them back to the one that we had.
How is them being mentally ill because of pronouns better?
Sir, what's mentally ill is you thinking that someone is mentally ill for using pronouns. That's what's mentally ill. Okay. You need a really good psychiatrist and some really strong pills, dude. Like when they start offering you Lexapro, go ahead and tell them Paulie already said that shit ain't strong enough. Okay. We need to go with something a lot heavier.
Well, you know what? You advocating for they, them, and this and that opens the door for our future generation kids to be furries and shit and piss in litter boxes.
I hope they are furries, sir. And I hope instead of pissing and shitting in litter boxes, I hope they come over to your house and piss and shit in your living room. Right? That's what I prefer that they do. I prefer that they do that instead of litter boxes, okay? Sir, I don't give a shit where you're pissing and shitting and you yelling about other people doing the same thing. Does not affect me, sir. I couldn't give a shit, okay? Like literally, why do I care? Why do I give a shit, dude? Sir, furries have been around for a real long time, okay? They have yet to affect me, okay? They have affected me 0 times. And look, if you're a furry out there, I'm just letting you know, because like I'm not like one of these I'm not one of these guys who's like, like I say how it is. I don't really I'm not gonna try to like kid glove you or whatever. I'm gonna say 2 things about furries, right? One, I 100% respect your right to be able to do that, right? And I think that if that's the way you express yourself and you want to do it, that's totally cool. I also think it's fucking weird, right? And I can think both of those things. I can also think when I see it, I'm like, that's fucking weird, right? But that's none of my fucking business. I'm sure I do shit that's fucking weird to y'all too, right? So, and that's okay. All right. And that's okay, right? I probably like a whole bunch of shit that you're like, that's strange of that guy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, that's fine, right? So like, I think it's weird, but that's just because I'm not into it. If you're into it, fucking go for it, man, right? Like, but I'm just saying it is It is something, bro. It is something. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a choice, right? It's a choice, right? You know. You know, it's a choice, right? Yeah. Someone asking what a furry is. As long as you're at least 18, you can go look that up later. If you're under 18, please don't do that. Okay? Like just leave that one till you're a little bit older. All right? So
shooter that shot Charlie Kirk, was his boyfriend not a furry?
Sir, I don't fucking know. Freaking why do I fucking give a fuck about his boyfriend? If he shot Charlie Kirk, which again, he hasn't been convicted of at all, but even if he was, you know, oh shoot. If she was, then why the fuck do I care? You mean the person that helped the police catch him? The person that went there and cooperated with the police and turned him in and like did all the statements and all that sort of stuff? The person who literally is the only reason that we even caught Tyler Robinson, right? Like that, you mean that person?
Yeah, what was his boyfriend? Was he not a furry?
No, the boyfriend is who I'm talking about. The boyfriend was the only reason that we ever caught him because the boyfriend corroborated with the police department and turned him in.
Boyfriend, but was he not a furry?
I don't fucking know. Why do I sir? Why do you care?
Because
did the boyfriend do it? So actually, what you're telling me is the furry cooperated with police. If it was a furry, I don't know if it was, but the furry cooperated police and helped police to catch a criminal. And a person who wasn't a furry is the one who committed a murder. Yeah. So what I'm hearing is what I'm hearing is if you're like being a furry makes you less likely to commit murder. That's what I heard. That's what I just extrapolated from that sentence. Okay. But sir, I know that you guys would just like to sit here and just run, like, you know, would just like to, you know, sit here and scream about furries and whatever. But really, I have like zero will to have this conversation with you. It literally makes me feel like I have less brain cells in my head. And I would literally rather just like do anything but talk to you, okay?
It's 2 + 2 = 5.
All right, sir. Well, I just unmuted you to say bye. I wasn't unmuting you to try to make your manifesto, okay?
It's 2 +
Nope, you're still doing it. All right, I'll give you one more try. Goodbye, right, sir.
It's 2 + 2.
Nope, nice try. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. This guy heard bye, and he's like, I should give my entire manifesto right now. No, I'm good. Yo, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you. We are at 317,000 likes. We need to get this thing up to 400,000 because we have about 45 minutes, maybe a little bit more if I'm getting into a good conversation. To hit 500,000 likes, to hit 500,000. Also, if you hadn't sent that heart me yet, please go ahead and send that. We're at like 147. We should easily be at like 200 by now. I appreciate that. Also, I have the live gift goal, the hearts. We're about a third of the way through that. So if you'd like to support, I really appreciate that. To help me clear that out, that means a lot. I also have super chats, super stickers, pay links in the bio, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics, just like my name. Jay, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said they just flip out when you prove them wrong. Good luck with them. Yeah, I'm trying, dude. I'm trying really hard. Mindspeak, thank you so much for the $10. Said I found very funny that MAGA said that there's a voting fraud on California without proof. Let me tell you, we California pay donor taxes for red states that can't meet their quota. Yeah, California keeps all your little red states running. Okay. So I wouldn't be so quick to just start abusing California. They might cut your shit off. That's what they should do. They better cut that shit off. Betty, thank you so much. Said MAGA, I care about whatever. I care. Said I care because I said whatever. Fuck them. Yeah, exactly. Lovely, thank you so much. Said I understand why CPS took his children. I mean, you're not wrong. VJ, thank you so much for the sticker and for the other sticker too. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Tati and Chris, thank you so much for the hearts. We're about halfway through that thing now. Let's see if we can clear that thing out. I appreciate it. Trying to keep me in these B leagues over here. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going, man? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 31.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I would say half and half, if to be honest with you. I'm more of a moderate, so some things I support, some things I do not.
Yeah, that's not really an excuse anymore, sir. Yeah.
I mean, people think that, but at the same time, it's two things can be true when you could say, hey, some of the qualities of this person I accept, but other qualities of them I do not.
Yeah, but in order to accept the qualities that you do have, you have to accept the qualities. You have to bypass the parts where he's doing like fascism, war crimes, and against the Constitution, right? Like you have to bypass those parts to try to find something, right? You have to bypass the felonies. You have to bypass the sexual assault. You have to bypass the defrauding children's cancer charities. You know, you have to bypass all of those things to try to find something to be like, oh, I'm moderate and I kind of like agree with these things, right? And if you have to do all of those, if you're willing to do all of those things, right, in order to find something good, then you're not a moderate, you're just, you know, complicit.
Wouldn't a logical person take two sides of a story though and then come to a conclusion?
Sure, sir. There's this, but when we take two sides of the story, right, what's the opposite of fascism, right? What's the opposite of democracy? What's the opposite of the rule of law, right? You're taking the two things, right? One thing, which is fascism, and you're comparing that to democracy, right? Okay, and you're saying, well, I'm comparing those things and I kind of meet in the middle, right? You're taking committing a sexual assault, right? And not committing a sexual assault and saying, I'm a moderate, I'm somewhere in between these things. You're taking war crimes. You're taking war crimes and correct warfare and saying I'm in between those two things. You see what I'm saying? You see how that doesn't work?
I understand what you're saying, and I know what you're talking about. You're talking about that school when they bombed it. That's what you're talking about, correct?
That's just one of many. Yeah. Donald Trump just literally threatened to commit a genocide. The speaking of it alone is a war crime.
I understand exactly what you're saying. But what I'm trying to say is, do you think those people also do not commit war crimes when they use civilians as shields so they hope America doesn't hit them?
Yeah, of course they do, sir. I'm not trying to compare the United States president to if they're better or worse than fucking Iran, right? I'm not trying to my comparison to whether a president is or not is not to find one of the worst dictatorships that exists on the planet and be like, oh, at least we're better than them. Sorry, sir. I feel a little bit more for my country and expect a little bit higher qualifications than is it worse than the worst people I can fucking find?
And I'm with you, man. I'm an American just with you. I would like to work together. I'm not trying to point fingers and like argue with people. I'm trying to come to a middle ground with you. But I get.
But I'm not trying to come to a middle ground.
Time of day where you can't come. Yeah, that's what you're saying. There is no middle ground anymore.
There isn't.
Is that what you're saying?
No. See, when it was fucking like Obama versus McCain, right? There's so much middle ground in there, man. Two great people, great Americans. I disagree with a few things that Obama did. I disagree with more things that McCain did. But I think if McCain had become president, right? Like, I still think our country would have had democracy. I think we would have had the rule of law. I think we would have had the Constitution. We would have had somebody that loved America, right? Loved it, would have been a true American, right? War hero, John McCain, right? Like, I don't think there was a negative there, right? That's where we come and we find middle ground, right? That's where we start arguing. That's where we start arguing semantics, right? That's where we start arguing, like little things here, little policies, oh, you have a preference, I have a preference, and we have those arguments. We're not arguing that right now, sir. This is not the same thing. Donald Trump is in violation of the 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 14th, 24th, and probably the 25th Amendments right now. And that's just to name the ones that I currently can list off the top of my fucking head. And more to come, sir. Like, what are you talking about?
I get what you're saying because I'm one of the people that actually know all those amendments that you just stated, and I understand and I agree with you. What I'm trying to tell you is there is still a little bit I agree with him with. I'm not saying that he is the greatest president of all like these other people. I'm not trying to say that if you don't support Trump, like you're going to hell, like how these other people look at it. I'm trying to tell you I'm more of an intellectual, and I think in the middle. I can say a couple things he's doing I agree with, but then a lot of other things I don't agree with. I agree with you. I don't think we should be anywhere near in this war right now. I don't know why we're here. It doesn't make any sense, but we all know why we are, for oil. We know this.
Do you know what I hear when you say that? like what my how my brain processes it. And I'm just going to be honest with you. Okay. How my brain processes that is for me to be like, well, you know, the economy actually flourished when Hitler took power, right? There was actually like record job creation, and you know, and the inflation rate like went like way down in Germany. Actually, the economy flourished, right? So what I hear when you say that is, well, yeah, I mean, but I can say that there's good things about Hitler. Not everything is bad. Just because I can point out some bad things about him doesn't mean he's altogether bad or that I shouldn't point out the good things, right? Like, no, sir, I don't give a shit about whether he's a good painter or whether he had some good economic numbers at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about that because the overall theme of fucking Hitler is that he committed a fucking genocide, right? Like killed millions and millions and millions of fucking people. And I don't need to look past that to try to find some middle ground, right? What are you talking about?
Are you comparing Donald Trump directly to Hitler then right now?
No, sir, I am not. And it's really funny to me that every time I bring up that stance, that's the question I get asked. And you know what that makes me think? It makes me think that y'all think he's a little like Hitler, right? Because I wasn't comparing him to Hitler. I was comparing, right, supporting a bad leader, a horrible leader, just because you can find a singular good policy about them. That's what I was comparing. But every single time I bring up a saying like that, or, you know, like make an analogy like that, the first thing you guys always say is, oh, you're comparing him to Hitler, or you're comparing him to Hitler. It's like, dude, I wasn't, but it really does make me think that you guys are, if you guys jump to that immediately.
I definitely do not think he's like Hitler, because Hitler killed over 6 million Jews. He literally committed a genocide. I don't think he did that at all. But the reason why we bring it up is because that's the first example you use to describe Donald Trump, like, is bringing up Hitler. That's the example you
Actually,
use.
I didn't describe Donald Trump. I described you.
You're saying you're describing me as what?
I'm describing you as someone that would be willing to look past horrific things in order to support a singular good policy and call yourself a moderate. If it was right now in the 1930s, okay, you would be the guy sitting there going, well, you know, Hitler's not all that bad. Like, I call myself a moderate. I'm an intellectual. I can find good things about him. That's what you would be saying. That's who I was comparing. I wasn't comparing Donald Trump to Hitler. And it is telling that you think though. But the analogy was about you, sir. It was about you and people like you. It's the both sides moderate argument. That's the problem.
What? But me being a moderate, how's that have to do with anything? Me saying that
because
I can find good things in Hitler.
Yeah, because being a true moderate,
people.
If you were a true political moderate, yeah. Because if you were a true political moderate, you would hate Trump. Right?
I didn't say I liked him.
No, you said there were some good things about him. If you were a true political moderate, you wouldn't be able to stand Trump. Because where do most political moderates stand, right? Most political moderates are something to the effect of socially liberal, fiscally conservative. Right? Somewhere to that effect. Donald Trump is fiscally probably the most irresponsible president that's existed in this nation's history, right?
Wasn't the first thing I told you is I agree with some of his things, but I agree with you.
What do you agree with then, sir? If you want to get to something that you agree with the fucking worst president in the fucking history of the planet, then tell me what it is, sir. What do you want to get off your chest that you agree with so much about the worst president in American history?
Well, I mean, for once, let me ask you, why do you believe he's the worst president in American history? I'm just curious.
Well, first of all, it's not even my opinion. Literally 155 presidential scholars all got together and unanimously voted him the worst president in American history. And that was just after the first term. That wasn't even in this term. In this term, he has completely turned us towards a fucking recession, almost put us into stagflation, started a war, even though he said he wasn't going to, raise prices, raise gas prices, literally created an ICE freaking force that is paid the same as the IDF, and has sent them out to terrorize leftist cities, has threatened freaking genocide, has literally called for the hanging of Democrats and Democratic politicians, all right, has called freaking immigrants the blood of the fucking earth, has built concentration camps and put children in them. Those are all the things that he has just done this term. That was after he was rated the worst president in American history.
you're saying all these things, and I do understand some of them you said, because I read that the last tweet where he literally said, we're going to wipe you guys off the earth. I did not agree with that. I do not agree with the war at all. But when it comes to immigration, do you feel like an illegal should be able to come over to an America at any time they want without going through due process?
Literally, no one
to
believes
become
that.
an American citizen.
That's not a Donald. What? That's not a Donald Trump policy. Donald Trump. There was one of the most restrictive fucking immigration reform policies that existed under the Biden administration that was literally written by Republicans. And the only reason it didn't pass was because Donald Trump called Congress and told them to stop it.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, Obama's actually deported more illegals than Donald Trump has in his term.
100% he has. He did it more effectively he did it more effectively. He deported more people for less of a cost to the American citizen and somehow did it all without building concentration camps or putting children in it.
So you're saying he's building concentration camps and putting children in it?
Yep.
You're talking about before they get deported, they put them in these camps until they deport them and fly them overseas.
If they get deported. They're there for months. If they even even get out of there, some of them aren't even due for deportation. Some of them are legal, but they're not allowed due process. They're not allowed to contact their families. They're not allowed to contact lawyers. A lot of those children are American citizens who were actually born here and legally American citizens under the Constitution, under the 14th Amendment. But they're still being stuck there with freaking non-potable water, with rotten food if they get fed, maybe possibly once a day, in crowded cells that are so fucking tight they don't even have the ability to all lay down at one time, and they have to take rotations and doing that, right? And then many times they're deported to countries that they don't even belong to, that they're not fucking from, without any representation from a lawyer or any due process to find out if they were actually supposed to be deported to begin with. That's not even counting like the 12 to 1,500 people that were sent to Alligator Alcatraz who just dis-a-fucking-peered. We don't even know where they at. They got literally sent to a literal freaking concentration fucking camp and then disappeared off the face of the planet, and no one even knows where they're at. They're literally building immigration warehouses. If you're going to deport somebody, then freaking make sure that they're freaking supposed to be deported, and then just deport them. There is no need to build freaking concentration camps in order to get there, and it's sure as hell not any excuse to put 3,800 children in it, including 20 infants.
You keep calling it concentration camp. It's not a concentration camp. It's a camp where they sit before they get deported. They're not torturing them. They're not gassing them like they did the Jews in World War II.
Did I say they were a fucking Auschwitz death camp? Again, you're the one who's making that comparison, not me.
But that's what you just said. That's what a concentration camp is. That's where it started from, was World War II with the Jews, the Nazis.
There was concentration camps before that, sir. Sir, just because you have an emotional attachment to that word doesn't mean that that's what that word means, okay?
What emotional attachment do I have it? That's the facts. Look it up on Google. What a concentration camp is.
A concentration camp is a guarded compound for the internment or imprisonment of civilians without trial, typically based off ethnicity or political values rather than specific crimes. These sites are often characterized by harsh conditions and mass confinement, also aimed at isolating or persecuting specific minority groups or political groups. That's exactly what these places are.
So you just said it. You said harsh conditions. What harsh conditions?
I literally already told you the harsh conditions of them, where they're in overcrowded cells, where there's not even enough room for them all to lay down at the same time, where they're not being fed food that's actually freaking actually able to be eaten. It's rotten. Maybe they get one meal a day and it's fucking rotten, where they don't have potable water, where they don't have fucking healthcare. Not to mention the fact that these are all violations of the Geneva Convention, international law, and the U.S. law and the fucking U.S. Constitution. But it is also defined as a concentration camp. That's what a concentration camp is.
So you're saying the United States of America are putting these people in there until they deport them, fly them overseas. They're barely feeding them. They're throwing them in a jail cell like they're animals and keeping them all together, and they're being tortured. That's what you're saying.
Are being tortured? Well, I consider people not being fed properly, being denied medical care. Yes, I call that a form of torture. Lights being on 24/7, not being allowed to sleep. Yes, I call that a form of torture. But again, even without the torture, sir, it doesn't need torture to be a concentration camp. Again, because I read you the definition and nowhere in there does it say torture.
No, that's fine. I'll agree with that with you. So my point is then, you're saying this. You're saying they're putting in concentration camps because they are being deported, but they're not American civilians. If you look at actual law, American civilians are the ones that get all these things that you're saying.
Incorrect.
They are not American civilians.
Incorrect. 14th Amendment says that all people are afforded due process when they're in the jurisdiction thereof. Therefore, within the borders of the United States, you do not have to be a U.S. citizen. All you have to do is be in the country, right? That makes no sense, because if you were not allowed due process unless you were a U.S. citizen, then that means that somebody could come in over here on a tourism visa, commit a murder, and we couldn't arrest them. We couldn't take them to trial and we couldn't take them to prison because they weren't allowed due process. Is that how you think things work?
No, this is where you contradict yourself.
I have not contradicted
against
myself.
the law? No, hold on. Is it against the law to be in America illegally?
Is it against the law? It is a civil infraction.
It is against the law to be in America.
It is in a
illegally.
civil infraction.
Dude. You're saying it's a civil infraction?
Correct.
No.
Yes.
Look that up for me right now.
I have. I've looked it up 1,000 times, sir. You want me to do all of your researching for you?
No, you don't have to do it for me, but it is against the law.
It is a civil infraction. Sir, it is a civil infraction. Can you send someone to jail for freaking being in the country illegally?
No, you deport them. That's what they're doing.
Because deportation is not a punishment. It is the cost that you have to pay for violating a civil infraction. Okay, that is the entire point, right? If you you're crossing the border illegally, that is a Class C misdemeanor. All right. So if you catch someone crossing the border, that is a Class C misdemeanor. That is punishable under the law. But being in the country illegally is not punishable under the law. It is the infraction for that requires deportation.
So if they find you here illegally and they can prove it, what is the consequences if you're an illegal in America? What do they do?
They deport you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
they
we're
deport
doing
you.
this all
They don't
right
get to
now,
put you in a concentration camp first. Yeah. They can deport you. They don't get to put you in a concentration camp where many of these people are there for months and months and months and months and months. There are literally reports of people being in these freaking concentration camps for like 6-8 months.
Okay. So if they can't do it all at once, what would you like them to do?
Either figure out a way to do it faster or to stop doing it. Because undocumented immigrants, regardless of whether they're here illegally, whether they're here documented, whether they committed a misdemeanor in order to get here, are human beings. And I don't give a shit, okay, about your fucking misdemeanor when it comes to treating people inhumanely and not like humans, right?
So, but here's the thing. This is where your morality goes so far when it comes to this. So you agree with the law. So the law states in the United States Constitution, if you're here illegally, you're going to be deported. It does not. No. It does not say that in the U.S. Constitution. No.
Where?
You'll be deported if you're here illegally.
What amendment to the Constitution is that, sir? What amendment of the Constitution is that? What part? Please tell me which article or amendment of the Constitution it says if you're here illegally, you will be deported. Please tell me. I will pull it up on the screen, let you prove me wrong right now. I have no problem with that.
Give me 1 second.
Please take as many seconds as you like. You're going to need a while because it's not in there. Anyways, y'all, let's get this thing up to 400,000 likes. I really appreciate you. No, you research. I'm talking to them.
Undocumented immigrants in the U.S. are protected by the 5th and 14th Amendments, which guarantee due process, what you said. But the Supreme Court stated that if you're here illegally, you can be deported.
Cool. Is that in the Constitution?
It's not in the Constitution, but it's
cool. That's all my point was. I said it's not in the Constitution. If you just said you could be deported, I've already said that. Our law says that. Title 8 says that. Title 42 also says that, right? Our immigration law says that you can be deported. The Constitution doesn't say that anywhere.
Yeah, well, the Constitution hasn't been updated for a long while, which you probably should at this point. But
You're right, sir, but I didn't make the claim that the Constitution said it. You did.
No, I did. You're right. I made a mistake. But it is also Supreme Court law that if you're illegally, you should be deported.
There's no such thing as Supreme Court law. Supreme Court doesn't make laws.
But what I'm saying, it's law of the United States.
It is the law of the United States. Yes. Again, under the penal code for under the penal code for the civil infraction that is freaking being in this country, undocumented.
How do laws get approved?
Through legislature.
Okay.
What does that have to do with the point, sir? What, sir? I'm not arguing that people can't be deported. I'm not arguing that. If you want to make the stance that you support Donald Trump because of deportations, then congratulations. You support a president deporting less people for more of a cost to the American citizens and doing it more inhumanely. Okay?
No.
That's all you're saying. If you support Donald Trump's immigration and deportations, you're saying you support the taxpayer spending more money to do something that Democrats do cheaper and to do it without fucking building concentration camps. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man.
You want to know my whole thing? If I can be honest with you, if you allow me to.
Sure.
I think the whole system is messed up, and I'm sure you know this by now. People like to pick sides, left, right,
and here we go again.
Republican. They like, but it is.
You know what's funny? There's another creator. There's another creator. His name is Facts Still Matter. I was on his panel actually this morning, which is wild because I don't normally ever go on his panel, right? And it was funny that just this morning, I was having a big conversation with him, right? And we were talking about how everybody who voted for Trump that regrets their votes now just says exactly what you're saying right now. All of you guys have swapped from being fucking Trump supporters to all now being, oh, well, now both sides are bad. No, sir, not both sides are bad. You had Kamala Harris in there who has spent her entire fucking life dedicated to fucking public service, dedicating to try to make her state and this country fucking better, to freaking help the people of America. They're one of the most qualified people to ever be president in the fucking ever. And instead of choosing her because she was a black woman, you chose the 34 times felon, adjudicated freaking sexual assaulter, okay, who defrauded a children's cancer charity for $400 million, who is now building concentration camps. That's who you chose, okay? This is not a both sides thing. I understand that the Democratic Party has tons of flaws, okay? Tons of flaws, freaking really, like truthfully. So many fucking flaws, but to put them on an even playing field as if the Democratic Party is near the level of inhumanity, of lack of morality, right? Of the lack of freaking following the law or the Constitution, of the lack of trying to subvert democracy and free speech, to put them on the same page is a joke, dude. You guys have tried so hard to try to be moderate. You have literally become pseudo-fascists in the process.
I'm a fascist because I'm a moderate. Is that what you just told me?
I'm saying you're a fascist, absolutely.
I'm a fascist. Why am I a fascist?
Because you're literally up here defending the side of concentration camps.
The concentration camps, once again, how else would you like them to deal with it? What are you going to do?
I would like them to deal with it the way that we've dealt with it as long as we've had this immigration policy. It's not that difficult.
Hold on. May I finish my point? I let you talk. I don't interrupt you. May I finish my point?
Sorry, you asked a question of how would you like us to deal with it? I was responding to the question. If you're going to ask me a question, I don't expect for you to continue talking. But go ahead.
Let me follow through with the whole question. There's a lot of people right now that are trying to deport. How are you going to do that all in one sitting? Where are you going to put these people? What are you going to do with them?
Are you done?
They're here illegally. So what is it you recommend they should do?
If you can't deport them with humanity, then don't fucking arrest them yet. This is not my fucking problem. Okay? This is not you act like this is my fucking problem. This is your problem. Okay? Your problem is in order to deport the people, okay? Again, 80% of which have no criminal record whatsoever. Less than 3% have any violent criminal record. Donald Trump's using the court systems for people trying to do it legally, right? He's using the court systems in order to take people and snatch them up. He's literally snatching up children at schools. He's literally using the IRS to snatch people up that are paying their taxes, right? And using the IRS in order to do that. If you guys want to do all of that, right? And rip people who have been here for fucking decades, rip school children away from their fucking families, fucking rip people away that are providing for our society, that are doing absolutely no harm whatsoever, and are actually being a net benefit to us economically, because over the last 50 years, according to the Cato Institute, they've had a $14 trillion surplus to the United States economy. If you want to rip all of those people out of this fucking country that are helping America, then you better find a way to do it humanely. It is not my fucking job to figure out how you should do your fucked up policy more humanely. It's just your job to do it.
But would you agree with me at least? Hopefully you do. At the same time, I do agree with you. There are a lot of good immigrants in this country, but there are also a lot of them living off the system as well.
No.
A lot of them committing fraud.
Nope.
A lot of these people are doing that as well.
Nope. Not true. Because undocumented immigrants can't get anything off the system because they don't they can't apply for any social safety nets. They can't get any welfare programs. They can't get any of them. So no, they're not living off that system.
Okay.
And the fraud that you guys are talking about, which I'm sure you're going to bring up fucking Minnesota, literally was headed by a white American citizen. And all the people that were doing it underneath her were all American citizens. They were just from Somali descent.
Okay, but it was still fraud, was it not?
It's fraud from American citizens. How is throwing undocumented immigrants in concentration camps fixing a problem with fraud from American citizens?
Okay,
And if you want to talk
so
about
you're
fraud,
saying-
I'm just saying, if you want to talk
You're
about fraud,
saying-
maybe you should talk about Rick
wait.
Scott, who freaking
Hold on,
defrauded
hold on,
Medicaid.
hold on.
Maybe you should talk about Ron DeSantis, who was just found to have freaking defrauded the U.S. taxpayer or
Yeah,
Florida taxpayers out of $10 million directly to his own fucking pockets.
You're saying with 100% complete that all these people were American citizens that came from Somalia. None of them were immigrants at all.
They're all immigrants. Yes.
But I'm saying
they are
none of them
Somali
here were
immigrants
illegally.
that were U.S.
None of them were
citizens.
illegal.
Yes, correct.
100%. None of those people were illegal.
100 fucking percent.
Okay.
They were either under TPS status or they were American citizens. None of them were undocumented immigrants. You know why they couldn't have been undocumented immigrants? Because the fraud that you're talking about came from programs that undocumented immigrants can't apply for. Okay? Because our system does not allow undocumented immigrants to apply for things. The reason is, of course, in order to apply for these programs, you need documentation. You need fucking documentation to apply. And if they're undocumented citizens, they don't have documentation to apply for the things that require documentation. Cause dude.
So if you completely believe this, which I think you do.
It's not a matter of belief. Prove I'm wrong. Prove I'm wrong. I'll prove I'm right in 30 seconds. Prove I'm wrong.
What's up?
Prove I'm wrong.
Prove you wrong about what?
You want to say like, oh, you 100% believe this, even though there was already 62 freaking people in jail for it, and freaking 94 that were indicted in total. So we have all of the records of all of the people that were doing it.
If you truly believe every one of those people down to 100% were documented citizens, I don't know what to tell you. You know that's not true.
I know it 100% true. They are either citizens or they were here under TPS. And I can prove it. It's not even fucking difficult, sir. This is not, sir, if you guys would just spend literally 5 minutes, right, researching anything that you think you believe, okay? Not on Twitter or fucking YouTube. If you guys would spend 5 minutes researching any of this, we wouldn't even be having a conversation right now. Literally 5 minutes. It takes no time at all to find this information, dude. None.
Yeah, I just looked it up at Google. They said they don't know if it was 100% all of them were American citizens. There you go.
So what you're saying is, oh, Google said everybody that we know is either American citizens or under TPS. And I keep saying TPS, and you keep ignoring that like I'm not saying it, which is kind of cute. But regardless, I said they're either citizens or they were under TPS. And Google is like, well, all the data that we have, shows that they were here legally, but we can't 100% guarantee under all uncertain circumstances that there wasn't one person that might not have been.
No, what I'm trying to tell you is if you're under TPS, that does not make you an actual American citizen.
But it doesn't make you an undocumented immigrant.
But it's still not an American citizen.
But it's not an undocumented immigrant. If you are here under TPS, are you eligible for deportation?
Yeah.
No, you're fucking not. No, you're fucking not. You cannot be deported until your TPS is overturned by the government with cause.
Yeah.
With cause. So therefore, hey, no, you hang on. No, you hang on. No, you hang on, or I will mute you.
Hold Hold on.
No, you're muted now. I'm not fucking holding on for shit. Sir, if they are under TPS, that means their TPS has not expired, which means they are legally here, which means they are not undocumented immigrants, which means they can't be fucking deported. Okay? You are trying to mix up because your argument is fucking losing so bad, okay, that you're trying to argue because we're sticking children in concentration camps that we have to because people that are legally here, okay, are committing fraud. That's your fucking argument. That's your fucking argument, is that people that are legally here. Well, guess what, sir? You know what else I got for you? There's a whole bunch of people committing fraud in the United States, and most of them are fucking white. And most of them are American citizens. 99% of them are American citizens, and 99% of them are fucking white, and the overwhelming majority of them are on the fucking Republican Party. Ron DeSantis and Rick Scott of Florida both have been found to commit similar fraud than the Somali immigrants did, and you're not talking about shit with them. Okay? And you know why you're not talking about shit with them? Because they're not fucking brown. That's all it is. They're not fucking brown. And you have to fucking harp only on the fucking fraud of fucking brown people. But as soon as it's white fucking Republicans, then all of a sudden I don't hear a fucking word from you.
Oh, dude. I agree with you. Send them all out of here. If they're committing fraud,
I say send you out of here.
I agree with you. You think I don't agree with you? I agree with you. Those people should be sent to prison as well. They're committing fraud. Why would I not agree with that?
This is what I mean, sir. This is what I mean when I say that moderates try so hard to be moderate that they end up being pseudo-fascists. Okay? This is literally what it means. You are trying so hard to be in the middle ground. You are trying so hard to be in the middle ground that you are literally adopting the freaking thought process of fascists in order to be middle ground. And that, sir, is why I said a long time ago in this conversation that there is no room for me to be middle ground, okay? Because in order for me to be middle ground, okay, I have to find a middle ground in between fascism and democracy, and I can't do that. I have to find a middle ground, okay, between treating people humanely and treating people inhumanely, and I can't fucking do that, okay? I can't find a middle ground in there. I am all the way, I don't know where I am at on that spectrum, but wherever fascism is, I'm on the other side of that fucking spectrum, okay? Wherever it is with treating people inhumanely, wherever it is where we're putting children in fucking detention centers, concentration camps, prisons, whatever it is, okay? Who have done nothing but fucking go to school with their fucking lunchbox, and now all of a sudden they're thousands of miles away from home, not in schools, in a fucking warehouse prison someplace. Wherever the people are that I agree with that is, please, for the love of God, put me all the way as motherfucking far away from that shit as you can fucking possibly put me. I do not want to find middle ground with that. I do not give a shit about anybody who wants to find middle ground with that because it's fucking atrocious, dude. And I'm not going to sit there and listen to little fucking tiny itty bitty fucking tiny things that you can pick out about Donald Trump to make you fucking feel like you're a fucking moderate. It's sad. Either be part of fucking part of this United States, be part of fucking humanity, or fucking don't be, bro. But don't try to hold the rest of us back.
I'm not trying to hold you back at all, man. I haven't been disrespectful to you once. I've been just trying to talk to you. My whole thing is what you were talking about TPS. If you commit a crime, you immediately get deported. That's how that goes. I'm sure you know that, but I'm just saying it.
Incorrect. If you're on TPS and you commit a crime, then the crime has to be proven, you get due process, and then an immigration judge has to do a deportation order.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all due process. That's all the stuff that those people in Dilley, Texas, or people in Alligator, Alcatraz aren't getting.
Okay, so you're saying they're not getting it, but at the same time, here's where I think me and you have a disconnect is I believe you think people, do you believe people should come into this country illegally, or they should do it the correct way? Get their green
What's the
card.
correct way, sir? What's the correct way?
What?
What's the correct way?
Legally?
What's legally?
You take a test, you get your green card, you have your documents.
And how do you get here to do that?
What?
And how do you get there to do that? Get here to do that?
What do you mean? How do you go? You go to a center where they can help you out. Do that. They
Oh,
can
you think you just
process
go to a center? You think you're an undocumented immigrant? And you just come to a center and you just help you do that?
That's how it has been done.
That has never
Is it
been the
not
way it's been. That hasn't been that
anymore?
way since fucking Ellis Island. Okay? It hasn't been that way in longer than either you or I have been alive. That is the fucking problem, sir. The problem is that there is no truly correct way. Our entire immigration system is broken. The reason why we have so many undocumented immigrants in this fucking country is because the way to do it is almost damn near impossible, okay? And if you aren't able to fucking find a way to navigate a legal system when you are poor, when you come from another fucking country, when you can't fucking afford a lawyer, if you are able to somehow navigate it, you are going to take 15 to 20 years to do it. If you can somehow afford a lawyer, okay, then you might get it done in 10, okay? Unless, of course, you're like Donald Trump, who wants to just give away freaking American citizenship for $5 million that he can put into his pocket, right?
Oh, but
besides that,
another
there
thing that's
is,
stupid. That's stupid.
there is
Yes, I agree.
a very insanely narrow, itty bitty pass for like 1% of 1% of people to come to this country legally and do things the right way. So, sir, what I say is, yes, I do want people to come here and do things legally the right way. The second, okay, that we make the legal right way attainable, right? The second that we make it to where the legal right way is something that is straightforward, that doesn't take a fucking decade, okay, that is actually can be done without a whole shit ton of fucking money, right? That can be done in a straightforward method without having to navigate something insane, right? When you can do things, when we can do things faster and fucking cheaper and more efficient, right? And actually run like we're the size country that we actually are. Once we can do that and there is actually a legal pathway to do that, then yes, 1000%. Okay, 1000%. I think that people should do things the legal way. But until then, the best that we fucking got right now is people that are here undocumented that are going to fucking work every day, that are putting fucking $98 billion a year into the U.S. They're paying $98 billion a year into fucking U.S. taxes. Okay, taxes that they're not able to get back, right? When they only take about $30 billion a year total. Right. So there are $60 billion surplus a year in just tax funds to the United States. They are working. They are helping our fucking economy survive. Right. We do not have enough people to do the jobs in this United States. Right. When Donald Trump took office about a year ago, we had 7 million open jobs in this country and 7 million people that were unemployed. If you were to deport the 14 million-ish undocumented immigrants in this country, we would literally crash our economy. Okay, because we would not have enough people to do the fucking jobs here, right? So I say that we leave those fucking people here, right? Give them a fucking path to be able to more easily fucking stay here while we concentrate this nice ICE Gestapo force that Donald Trump has nicely created. Okay, and we actually concentrate those towards actual criminals instead of people that are just fucking going to work every day.
May I ask you, or may I make a statement?
Go ahead.
So, and I understand because you're a humanitarian. You want to see everyone be treated nice and equal, and I agree with you. I'm also a person like that. I'm not an asshole. I'm not a person that thinks like, if you don't think the way I think you should go to hell. I'm not that way. But at the same time, would you not agree that by these illegals coming over here, they're still being taken advantage in their own way as well? They're coming over here, they're being paid less. That's why they're being hired. They're not getting health insurance because they're illegal. So these companies and corporations are still taking advantage of them. So how do you fix that?
Yeah, gotcha. We enforce labor laws to the companies more. Yeah, for like a 10% of the cost we're using to freaking deport all these undocumented migrants, we could literally do 10 times the amount of fucking enforcement we do on labor laws and fix exploitation. But not to mention that, I said we give the people that are already here a legal path to be able to work and to be able to move forward, which means we put them underneath our labor laws. Therefore, they can no longer be exploited. The people that are exploited are the people that have no other choice, so they can be exploited. The people that don't follow their labor laws, the people that can't pick up a phone and call someone when they're being forced into something because they're afraid of being deported because they're here illegally, right? Those are the people that the vulnerable. What you're saying is by trying to deport all these people, you're saying we should attack the vulnerable people and the people that are being abused and the people that are being treated badly. We should punish those people instead of punishing the corporations that are doing the abusing.
No, what I'm saying is the corporation is doing it, but you have to understand that there's also Americans that need jobs as well. And some of those people do take them. That's my whole point.
That is
I'm not trying to say they're subhuman. I'm not trying to say screw these people. I'm just saying there are cases where they will hire those people because they can hire them for less and without benefits. Where an American, he'll be like, no, I want to get paid at least minimum wage and I want my benefits.
Actually, if you look at like the Council for Immigration Studies and you look at their study, actually undocumented immigrants create jobs for Americans at almost a rate of 1-to-1.
But how do they create jobs if they're taking the jobs that another American would take, but they did not because they're paying that person? Well, if you were a business owner or a corporate man, if a guy said, hey, I'll take $14.25 and work without insurance, and other guy's like, no, I want $16 an hour and I want insurance, you take the guy for $14.25.
No, I wouldn't, because that'd be illegal.
But that's what they do. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No, you said if I was a legislator, I wouldn't do that. Sir, what I'm talking about is the fact that we have like the entire agriculture industry is almost completely ran by freaking migrants in this country, like overwhelming majority. And if all of those migrants leave, no Americans are going out to do that. Okay, no Americans are going out to go fucking pick strawberries once we depart, and not to mention the fact that they do that in like the Central Valley of California. Okay, which means that's not even where the unemployed people are. They're all the way across the country in freaking like the Midwest, where a lot more of our unemployment is, or in the Bible Belt, where a lot higher unemployment rates are. Right. The places where these migrants aren't even the places where the Americans are to go and do those jobs. All right. So it's not fixing any problem. But see, what happens is when those migrants are there to actually, pick the fruit or do the agriculture and tow the fields, all this stuff. Well, guess what? Then that creates a bunch of American jobs down the line, because now there's a lot more produce coming from America. So now there's truck drivers that have to fucking drive it. Right. There's people that have to sort it. There's grocery stores that are getting it. All of those people down the line are American citizens. And when all that agriculture stops being picked, okay, then all of those people down that line stop having jobs, right? They work in a lot of things like service, right? There are a lot of like your maids and your service industry people in things like hotels, right? Well, guess what? When there's nobody to clean those jobs, there's no Americans that are waiting around the corner to go and start cleaning fucking rooms. So when that fucking happens, then they don't have enough people to clean rooms, which means not enough people can stay in those rooms, which means that the hotel staff and the cooks and the bartenders, they don't need as many of all of those people, and all of those people are American citizens. Okay, and now they lose their job because those undocumented immigrants go away. Okay, every single job, like all of these fucking jobs in the service industry, things that touch agriculture, things that touch construction, things that touch all of those things are affected by these migrants being here. They're important. And if you were to just rip them out, okay, there is a shit ton of Americans that are going to lose their job. Not to mention, there's not going to be any Americans to take the jobs of those migrants that are there.
So why do you believe there won't be Americans that take that job?
There's not enough Americans.
Don't want to do it.
Well, that too, but also there's not, yes, they also don't want to do it. Correct. But also there's simply just not enough Americans. Like I said, a year ago when Donald Trump took office, before any of these deportations, there was 7 million open jobs in this country and 7 million people that didn't have jobs, right? There's 7 million. There were 7 million people. I'd have to check the current numbers. I have to look. There were 7 million people that were unemployed and 7 million open jobs. Okay, so if I then deport 1 million undocumented immigrants, now there's 7 million. Now there's 8 million open jobs and 7 million people without jobs. Okay, if I deport 2 million undocumented immigrants, now there's 9 million open jobs and 7 million Americans that don't have jobs. Okay, there's not enough Americans to even handle the workload. In order for our country to survive, we have to have migrants doing those jobs.
I completely understand where you're coming from, but now I'm going to give you kind of like a different perspective. at the same time, while you're saying that, I understand that they're doing jobs that you might be saying normal Americans don't want to do. They're like, nah, I'm good. I'm not going to do that. But at the same time, are you saying those I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, just what I'm thinking. You're saying at the same time, those migrants are only good at doing those entry class jobs of picking strawberries or being construction labor. They're still being taken advantage of. They're at the base level. You get what I'm saying? It's like, at the same time, it's still kind of messed up. You're like, yeah, you're good at picking strawberries. You're good at just picking up concrete and bringing it over here. You're a laborer for construction. And then
nope. There's
farming.
a lot of freaking migrants, especially undocumented immigrants, who are very intelligent. There's been plenty of stories of migrants that are doctors and lawyers and all sorts of other things in the home countries that they came from. But they came over here in such desperation that they have to be able to work to be able to feed their families. And so they take whatever job is necessary, right? But no, there's migrants of all sorts of education levels, and I'm sure all sorts of IQ levels that come and do things. What I'm talking about is the jobs that they work here. I'm not making a judgment on their intelligence or their education level. I'm making a judgment based off of the jobs that we see them working here. And what we see is that migrants overwhelmingly work in the agricultural industry, in the service industry, and in the construction industry.
Yep. And then my thing is, though, is you're saying they create more jobs. So
it's insane.
I get what you're saying about, like, when it comes to produce, create more jobs. But if you're a laborer in construction, how is that creating more jobs for Americans if you're taking a labor job from another American?
Sure, because that labor job creates other labor jobs. Yeah. So you might be working on a crew that now freaking frames the building, but now because you can frame the building at a cheaper price, now more Americans are hired to roof the place or do the electricity or do the plumbing in it, right? When that building is now built because it was being able to be built, because if it wasn't being able to be built for that price, then it wouldn't have been able to be built. But now that it's actually built, it's a hardware store, and that hardware store employs American citizens, right? But at the cost of paying of not having it or not having enough, right? Construction workers. That's the real fear, right? Right now, like currently, and this is right now, we are at a 500,000 worker shortage in the construction industry. Right now, without removing undocumented immigrants, we're at a $500,000 shortage of construction industry workers. And I believe the March job reports shows that we lost another 24,000 construction workers just last month. All right. So,
okay.
So it's not a matter of them taking, there's tons of construction work out there. What there's not is a lot of people who want to do construction, because that's even me, right? Like I tell people this all the time. My first job was roofing in Palm Springs, California. Okay. That was my first job. And I did that. I was 15 years old and I was up on that roof in freaking, I don't know, it was like 115 on the ground. Who knows what it was on the fucking roof. And I said, nope. I'm not doing this for the rest of my fucking life. You know what I'm saying? Like I said right there, nope, I'm going to go to college and I'm going to go find something I'm going to fucking do, because I'm not fucking doing this. Okay. And then you know what? I bet you a whole lot of people had that exact same feeling. Okay. And they're like, hold on, I could be making more money or the same amount of money or more money in air conditioning in front of a computer. I just had a young man that was just up here earlier who was talking about how he has a high school diploma and he builds microchips, right? For 6 figures with a high school diploma, right?
Yeah, and some people are just naturally smart like that.
It's not smart. It's just the where we put American jobs. It has nothing to do with smart. Trust me, I talked to the guy. He's still here, okay? Very nice guy, all right? I'm not saying he was an idiot savant or anything. Okay, he wasn't the dude in he wasn't fucking Mark Wahlberg from what was that movie? Fucking Good Will Hunting, right? He wasn't freaking he was just a normal guy, man. Right? He's just a normal guy. But that guy has the chance to either do what he's doing, right? Make with his high school diploma, making very good money in air conditioning that has a full future, right? Or he can quit that job, all right, and go work 16 hours a day in 120, Matt, damn, I said Mark Wahlberg, in 120 degree weather out there building houses. Which one do you think he's going to take?
Yeah, you're gonna do the one in the air conditioning. Why the hell do you want to do the other one?
Yeah. So that's why nobody's working construction, sir, because Americans are spoiled little bitches. Okay? All of us. We're spoiled.
That's a problem. Yeah, that's our problem.
We are.
too.
It's not a problem,
too.
sir. It's not a problem, sir. It's not a problem. Okay. I don't say it as a problem. It's not a matter of being as it being a problem. Okay. We, thrive in things like technology. Right? We thrive in freaking invention. We thrive in medicine and pharmaceuticals. We thrive in all sorts of different fields because of that. Right? Because people grow up, right? Like when I talk to my daughter, right? My daughter's 15 years old, and we talk about her going to college. She has ambition, right? She wants to go to college. She wants to go for digital design and architecture, right? Like she wants to go sit in an air conditioning room, making a bunch of money and make amazing fucking things that help society, right? That's amazing, all right? But that's because I went to college, right? I was the first person in my family to have a bachelor's degree. I'm the only person in my family to have a freaking master's degree, right?
What's awesome, man?
Yeah, but I taught her to have mission. I'm teaching her, hey, don't settle for less. Right? Don't fucking go out there and fucking accept a construction job, right? Go and do something that is not only benefits you and makes you enough money and makes you freaking comfortable, but freaking proceed. But it doesn't even have to be that big of a thing, right? There's American citizens want to go to trade schools, right? They want to be HVAC technicians, right? HVAC technicians make a whole shit ton of money.
Yeah,
right. They make a whole bunch. Freaking professional electricians make a whole bunch of money, right?
That's what I am. I'm an electrician.
Great. That's awesome. That is super beneficial, right? And Americans want to go into those jobs. And there's some Americans that want to go into construction jobs too. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Whether it's roofing, maybe I have a friend of mine, right, who was actually who was an airplane mechanic and just got tired of it and just went and did construction. American citizen, born and raised here. Right? And just want to go do construction. That's great, man. But just because we want to have all of those things, right? We can have all of those things, right? You can have people that want to go do construction, people that want to build things. I've met some of the smartest, people that just want to be like gearheads, right? That just are amazing with a fucking motor, right? And you talk to them and you're like, man, you're kind of dumb. But with a motor, they're the smartest person you ever met in your fucking life. Some people just have the mindset for doing these things, and that's great, okay? But as a whole, Americans want to do other things, right? And the Americans that do want to work outside and all sort of stuff, I'll tell you, I live in Florida, right? And I'll tell you this right now, where I live in Florida, there are too many landscaping businesses, okay? I don't know how many there are, but I swear there's at least a dozen that service my street. I'm pretty sure, okay? But that's what Americans want to do. They want to go start businesses. They want to make landscaping business. They want to do all this sort of stuff. But we need migrants in the mix too. I'm not trying to discourage any American from doing any job, okay, at all. If you're an American out there and you want to go fix motors, you want to hammer in nails, or if you want to go go work in pharmaceuticals, or you want to go whatever you want to do, go do it. And I'm happy for you. And I'm not putting down anybody's career. My dad was a lifelong truck driver. Only thing he told me is you're not allowed to be a truck driver. Okay? That was the one thing he told me. You're not allowed to be a truck driver. But we need migrants in there because we can't do all of these things that we want to do without the migrants there freaking backing up those jobs so that we can do all of those things. And it's just a numbers game, man. It's just a numbers game. That's it.
Do you think there's a balance though between how many we need until it gets too much though as well?
There is definitely a number where it's too much. We are not there. And we're not even in the ballpark really.
So what would you say is the ballpark of the number?
Well, the number is constantly changing.
Just depending on what we need for jobs is what you're saying basically.
The number changes all the time. The number of jobs in America changes. And what we usually see is when we have more migrants, then we actually increase workers to certain areas, which means that companies actually come to those areas, right? And they build factories. And when they build factories, both the migrants and the American citizens both benefit from those factories. right? It's not just American citizens, it's not migrants, it's everyone all together. And then the community grows and then things, things come to those areas, right? You start getting a Starbucks and a Chipotle, right? Because now there's money in that area because that factory got there. But if you have some like rural factory in like in rural Alabama, right? There's not enough Americans there to build a factory.
Oh no, man.
Yeah, but you add migrants into that, and now there is, right? And now
Yeah, I
you build
agree
that
with you.
factory.
Yeah.
Now foreign companies want to invest. That means that it increases small businesses in the area, right? It more people want to come to that area to actually live. They start building housing, which creates more jobs, right? Because now you're building more businesses, right?
Yep. And then you need people to be the laborers, to set up
the
house, the framing, everything. I get what you're saying. I understand that point. Those people I have nothing wrong with, and I'll be honest with you. Like, if they're people actually working and going into the American economy, I have no problem with that. This is where I'm trying to tell you. But if they're a criminal or they're mooching off the system, I think they need to go. That's me personally, though.
I have no complaint, sir. If somebody is a criminal, especially a violent criminal in this country, kick them the fuck out, right? Well, first arrest them, send them to the fucking prison, and then kick them out. You know what I'm saying? I got no problem with that. That doesn't bother me. You know, if somebody if somebody is committing a fraud or doing anything, which again, this is not really an immigrant problem. It's more of a American citizen / legal migrant problem, right? But mostly American citizens. If they're doing that, I have no disagreement. Go after them. That's why it bothers me so much, sir, that Donald Trump has this giant ICE agency who's in charge of deporting people, right? And Stephen Miller told the heads of ICE to stop going after criminals and to start going to Cardenas markets and 7-Elevens, right? He ordered them to, because it's not about who is who is doing things bad, who are criminals, right? Who are committing things like fraud or committing violent crime. It's not about those people, right? They are just set at removing as many brown people as they possibly can. They argued in court multiple times that it is necessary for them to be able to racially profile to do their job. Those were actual arguments that ICE has made in court. All right. So they are specifically targeting brown people and trying to get 3,000 brown people out of this country at a time. Now, a couple other people are getting wrapped up in it, but that's most of what it is. It has nothing to do with criminality. It has nothing to do with fraud. It has nothing to do with any of these other things. It is racist ass Christian nationalist, white nationalist Stephen Miller trying to purge the America of anybody that doesn't look like him. That's all this is.
So my question is what is the benefit of doing that? For what reason? Why they want to get rid of everybody?
Because he's a racist.
Just go after the criminals or the fraudsters. Why go after?
He's a racist. Because he's a big old racist. He's like a very well-known racist. Like, he's a white nationalist racist.
And then also, I don't know if you're religious or not. Not every Christian is racist. I hope you know that. I'm a Christian. That's why.
No, my mom's a Christian. She's not racist.
I wanted to be treated like I've been that way my entire life. So just so you know that.
I don't believe that every Christian is a racist. I don't believe that at all. Okay. I know, like I said, my mom's a racist, and she's like one of only like 4 women I love in this freaking world. All right. 4, is it right? 4. My mom, my girlfriend, my daughter, and my dog. 4, right? That's all I got. All right. There's only four women I love in this world. No, that's all 4 of them. Okay. And she is a very, very devout Christian. I do not believe that all Christians are racist at all. I don't believe that in the slightest. Okay. I do believe, okay, that there is a lot of Christians, okay, and there is a lot of Christians who use their who use their Christianity to inflict hate and harm on other people. And that bothers me.
That's literally against the exact teachings of Jesus. If they do that, they're using it to prove their own narrative. He didn't want that at all.
Well, what does the Bible say about immigration, right? The Bible says that treat the foreigner amongst you as one of your native born, and to love them as yourself, right? That's what it says in Leviticus. Let's also not forget that freaking Jesus was a refugee, right? Jesus and his family had to escape Herod. and they fled to Egypt until Herod died, and they were literally refugees. They would be what we'd consider asylum seekers, right? Literally escaping persecution in this country right now, right? So
the Farsis pretty much made the Romans kill him. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So if you're using Christianity to somehow, propagate your horrible religious stances, then you're using Christianity wrong, and
no. The thing is you think I want people to stop thinking moderates are bad people because they're in the middle.
They are.
We're people in the middle because we don't understand both sides correctly. And I'm listening to you right now and I'm understanding you. And I'm saying, yeah, I agree with you. Not all immigrants should be taken out of this country. There are very good immigrants here. There's people here that give to our economy. I'm not one of those people that are just like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm here to listen to everybody. I'm not this type of person that just trying to irritate both sides.
I'm here to listen to everybody. Okay? Yeah. Like you seem to confuse this. I'm here to listen to everybody, but I don't listen to fascists and I don't listen to racists. Okay? Well, yeah, I don't do that, sir. I take in all of the information, and all of that information shows me, okay, that this administration will destroy this country. Okay, that's what all the information says. All the information says that this is how hegemonies throughout history have fallen. Okay, that's what all the information say. The facts say, okay, that this country, that this administration is against the Constitution, is against human rights, and is against the law. Okay, that's what the facts say, and that fact has driven me to a point politically. It doesn't mean that I agree with everything on the Democratic Party. I'm not even a Democrat myself. Okay, I'm a progressive. Little democratic socialism sprinkled in there, right? But regardless, okay, it's led me to be more humane, to be more for democratic processes, to be more for the rule of law, for be the more, and I'd hate to say this, for even a little bit more of institutionalism, right? Just a little bit more. Norms to a certain point aren't bad. Do we have to press them a little bit more? Yeah, but to have a little bit more norms is okay. You know what I'm saying? Like that, and that's all right. So, but anyways, man, I'm gonna get off the phone with you. I've been on the phone with you for like an hour, so, but yeah. I hope you have a good one. Okay.
You too. I appreciate talking to you, man. Thank you.
Right. Yeah, bye. All right, guys. He started talking about Christianity, and I didn't even get to do it. Can I get a 666 in the chat? Can I get a 666 in the chat? I didn't even get to play the song that Matt sent me today. Matt sent me this.
Satan is Lord. Satan is Lord. It feels so good to know that Satan is Lord. Satan is Lord.
All right. I've been waiting all night to play that. Tara, thank you so much for the galaxy. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Y'all, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Guys, we're at 188 people who have sent heart me's today. If there's 12 of you in, there's over 1,000 people who haven't sent heart me's today. Please do it so we get that thing up to 200. That really does help to push my live out. So I really appreciate you guys so much. And Hot Dog, thank you so much for the the dragon crown also. Jesus Christ. Okay. Scott, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says, sounds like our president DJT is not your favorite. Yeah, not a big fan. Brian, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. And then Brian again. Oh my God, I clicked the wrong. Brian again with the $20 super chat. Oh my goodness. And then Brian again with the $20 super chat. Can we get huge W's in the chat for Brian for the 3 $20 super chats? $60 in total. Thank you so much, Brian. Huge W's in the chat for that. Scott says, don't worry about Canada entering illegally. I am not worried about you guys trying to come this way. I think you all should be more worried about us trying to go the other way. Scuba, thank you so much for the 99 cents. Dude, Polly, thank you so much. I said Polly is like a dadless toddler. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, dude. That really means a lot to me. Star said, racist Christian dorks fuck up the whole country. There are more of us than them. 100% there are. Thank you so much, Star, Brandon, because there really is. Flaxen, thank you so much for the corgi. Death Grip, thank you so much for the flower. River, thank you so much for the floating heart. Aaron, thank you so much. Daniel, thank you so much. Janelle, thank you so much. Shush, thank you so much. Mindspeak, thank you so much for the $10. Said, all small or big business owners love hardworking people regardless of status because they gave them big profits. MAGA, don't hate illegals. Instead, hate yourselves for being lazy. Why don't you just go pull yourself up by your bootstraps? I think that would be probably easier for you, right? Thank you so much, Mindspeak. Jay says we're losing brain cells, fam. Sorry, I had to keep that one going. Lovely, thank you for the $5. Said, let's be real. These Trumpers don't care if immigrants are being exploited. They just don't want to see them do better than them. Dude, I'm sorry. For the most part, if an undocumented immigrant comes over and takes your job, it wasn't your job. Okay? It wasn't your job. Just being honest. If a guy walks across the Dorian Gap and doesn't have a friggin' and can't speak English, doesn't have a high school diploma and takes your job, it wasn't your job. Joe Dirt says U.S. suppressing other nations equals immigration problem. Yeah, exactly. Jay Will said, I really like how he actually listening, even if they share different views. Yeah, I have no problem listening, but it does get to a certain point, right? I did get a little riled up with him, but I was on the phone with him for like an hour or so. Just kind of going at it. Janelle, thank you so much for the silver star. Phil, oh my goodness. Phil says, thank you so much for $2. Said he doesn't understand that we have less deportations with a doubling of ICE agents and a slush fund worth 7 years of ICE a regular budget. These people shouldn't be these POLs shouldn't be in prisons. These people shouldn't be in prisons. They should be out in the country if that's the point, but they want labor. Yes, absolutely. I completely agree, Phil. And thank you so much for the $2. And Kiana, thank you so much for the $25 over on Cash App. Says, for job well done, sir. Love your middle ground take. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Also came back with, thank you so much, Keon. And Jay Will came back and said, ask yourself why we had slavery if America could build itself. Yeah, if Americans were so quick to go and build shit all by themselves, then why did we need slavery? Great question. All right, y'all, I'm getting off the night. I have a weird feeling I'm going to do a surprise live sometime this weekend. I don't know when it'll be, but I'll probably do a surprise one sometime over the next couple days. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, all right? Love you guys. Smoochies. Bye.